Public Yemeni No.1.
Yo, we are here with Mike Batayeh. Camera's all fucked up right now. Shit. Guys, you know how every time we do something and it's always... we got technical difficulties? Well, right now, I fucking took it to the next level. This... fuck, bro. Like, right now...
How's the camera look?
On you?
Because I saw it over there, yeah. It looks like I'm... like in an Al-Qaeda hostage video right now, right?
That's exactly what it is.
They're treating me very, very good here, and I just want to say I love my mom.
Blood on the screen. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and you're feeding me Arabic food too. I love it.
yeah.
That's the name of the podcast.
Arabic
Two
food.
chickpeas in a pod.
Two chickpeas in a pot.
In a podcast.
Two chickpeas in a podcast.
There's someday I'm gonna show all of them.
You think so?
Yeah, it's pretty
Give me a check, buddy. Check.
good. Give you a check. Check.
Get it closer.
Check.
No, less.
No, nothing.
Do it again.
Check. You good? You couldn't handle this before we started?
Bro. Don't even start with me.
I just want you to know before we begin, nothing's off topic. You can ask me anything you want.
No, I don't know about that, man, because last time you told
You
me...
could ask me anything you want.
Last time you told me,
Yes.
you said there are certain things that we couldn't talk about.
Nope. Anything. Ask me anything.
Are you sure?
Yep.
You're 100% sure?
Yeah. Ask me anything.
You told me not to talk about relationships.
Just ask me anything.
Okay, so what happened to your last relationship?
I really don't want to talk about that right now.
Okay, fucking go.
No.
Okay. No, fine.
Anything else?
Yeah. I love talking about relationships, bro. It's one of my favorite things to talk with people, honestly.
I could talk. Yeah, I could talk now. But when it's raw, I can't talk.
Really?
Yeah, I get that little thing. You know, you're like that little quiver in your voice when you're about to start crying, and then somebody asks you what's going on, and it makes you want to cry even more.
Yeah. Are you going to do that?
Like, you okay? It's like, yeah, I'm fine. You sure? Yeah, I'm fine. Are you? Did she? I don't want to talk about it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I'm very fragile.
Aren't we all, man? I think that's, that's what makes me get into comedy, because deep down, I'm just a little biatch.
Yeah, but you look hardcore.
I know. That's the beard.
You look like the cover model of the ISIS recruitment brochure.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the handsome face?
No, when I met you, you had clean cut. You were clean cut.
Oh, yeah. Remember that?
Yeah. We both.
Yeah.
People kept mixing us up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now I look like a fucking Dearborn ISIS recruiter.
You got the jihad starter kit on.
Yeah, exactly. Come this way to the virgins. I show you to the virgins. My friend, they are very, very difficult to deal with because they are virgins. But it's okay. This is what you wanted. You could have joined the Catholics. They give you the whores. The whores, they take good care of you in the
I was
heaven.
raised Catholic.
I know, that's right.
Yeah, I was an altar boy.
That's fucking weird.
No, I'm serious, man. I got the logjam to prove it. Watch. Sorry, Father Tobin. It's our little secret.
I might have to make yours a little louder.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yep, that's better. Right? Talk to me, buddy.
I can talk to you.
Yeah, way
Good?
better.
Better.
Who's Robbie Shaoli?
Robbie Shaoli.
Do you know who that is? Oh, I know who that is.
Why? What happened?
He changed his name. He used to be Hercules. Yo, what up? This guy's like commenting right now.
He calls himself Hercules, or they gave him the name Hercules?
Well, his name used to be Hercules on here, and then he
Oh.
changed it to Robbie.
I was gonna say this.
Hercules Shaoli, but now it's Robbie Shaoli. Whatever. Anyways, not important. You were an altar boy. You
man.
got it in the booty.
Holder did. No, I didn't.
Did you ever?
No, man.
Come on, it's okay to talk about that
I
stuff.
feel
man.
kind of hurt by that too.
No,
I thought I was cute.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you were hurt.
No,
by
I
that.
went to
fucking hurting the booty.
No, man, I went to Holy Redeemer Church.
Damn,
Shout out to Southwest Detroit.
that sounds like a pedophile ring.
No, it was in that. You know what? It was featured in that movie. this whole movie called Rosary Murders with Donald Sutherland.
Oh, I remember. I heard about I never watched it though.
It's pretty damn good. It's based off a book. I guess the author.
They also filmed
used to
part
go
of it
there.
in Fortson High School.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did
I know
they-
they went to Dooley's and then I was. That's my first brush with showbiz. I was so fucking mad because I was an altar boy there.
Yeah.
And my cousin Sam Saba, they chose him to be one of the altar boys, and I was like, "Fuck this shit, I'll show him." Then I went to Hollywood and got on TV and movies, and I was like, "Fuck you." I'm bitter. So that drove me into show business. Me getting rejected for Rosary Murders.
Really?
Yeah, I became an actor out of spite. That's the best way to do it, too, by the way. If you're going to get in the show business, you get in because of spite.
I started doing film because I got mad
Yeah.
at this independent filmmaker who got all these people to come together, right? And he cheered us on that he was going to shoot this amazing movie, and then he shot it, right? He got us to fucking come and work on it and everything, and then he never could finish editing it. And I got so fucking mad.
He was a local guy?
Yeah, some local fucking
Just talking shit?
just high hopes, no real motivation or
Yeah.
anything, and that motherfucker just out of nowhere just did that, and it pissed me off so fucking much, Mike. And I was just out of the Marines, and in the Marines they put in our heads you can fucking do shit. In my head, my Arab ego was like, well, fuck this white boy, bro. I'm gonna show you how to do it.
It wasn't the Marines. It's that Arab shit.
And the
we're
Marines,
very
though.
vengeful.
But it's also a goal setting thing.
Yeah.
Like the Marine Corps taught me goal setting shit.
I fell into it, man. I didn't think I was going to be an actor or a comic or anything.
Man, you chewing on this microphone is pissing a lot of people off right now.
Are they mad?
No,
I'm
but
sorry,
I'm pretty
it's
sure
Arabic food. I'm sorry. I'm done.
it sounds like you're fucking like eating sloppy pussy in my ears.
Why do
I was
you
like,
talk like that? Your mom's in the other room.
she can't hear me.
She can fucking hear. They
Watch
hear
this.
everything.
Watch this. Watch this.
Go ahead.
Hey, Ma. Ma. Now she heard me.
She heard you.
I had to scream.
Yeah.
I had to scream.
My mom.
No, I'm okay, Ma. Are you okay?
See, you could hear.
See, she said, wait. What did you say?
bring her up.
I said, no, I'm not going to bring her here, bro.
My mom. Are you gonna bring her up here? No. She's still talking down there. Can you guys hear this? Is she coming here?
No, she's not coming here, bro.
Did you don't have any siblings, right?
I just have to prove to you that she ain't going to hear shit.
My mom used to get pissed because I have like 6 siblings. So I have 6 sisters and then me. So my mom would get pissed. Like you know how if you have like brothers, she'd forget the names. Yeah.
Because they had that many fucking kids.
Mike. To you. But my mom, I have sisters. My mom like Jeannie, what Michael? And getting mad because she forgot the fucking name of her kids. I was like, what? I said, she used to get pissed quick, man. My mom was like Joe Pesci. She was quick. Quick with the temper.
What the fuck?
What, are you trying to fix something?
No. Just, yeah. I'm just setting all things up.
All right.
Hey, guys, what's up? Got a lot of people saying, what this one guy was saying.
What?
Are Arab pickles caved by chicks like American pickles and American chicks? Listen, man, when you guys are going to write comments and shit, bro, fucking learn how to use a comma, man. I don't even know what the fuck.
Why are you reading comments right now?
Because
Focus
we
on
have
me.
people watching. I'm trying to keep
If
them engaged.
this was a date, I swear to God, I would have gotten up and walked out by now.
Listen,
like,
if
if
this
you
was
were
a
a woman,
date,
I would have been like, you know what? I'm definitely not getting any
if
sex,
this was
so.
a date, I would have told you, look, bro, go draw on some hair. Like, I'm not
Why are you
fucking.
talking to me like that?
You know how girls draw on their eyebrows, bro? Draw on your fucking hair, cuz. Draw some hair. Somebody says he kind of looks like Arab Joe Pesci.
How the fuck do I look like Joe fucking Pesci? You mutt motherfucker!
Talk to him.
You fucking mutt! What's his fucking name? This tough guy.
His name is Sergio.
Fucking Sergio, like fucking Hallmark card fucking model over there with the fucking flowing hair. You prick, you mutt motherfucker!
Anyway, I look like Joe Pesci or sound like him? I get
said
that.
you look
I
like
sound
him.
like Joe Pesci, but I look like Brad Pitt. I've gotten that.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
In my mind. Yeah.
How is Breaking Bad, bro?
How's Breaking Bad?
How was it? How was it working on Breaking Bad, man?
It was cool. I didn't know. Okay, my character's name was Dennis Murkowski, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm like, I'm not
A Latina.
I'm not
Latino
Polish.
guy.
Yeah, I played him like New Mexico. There's like a New Mexico
Latinx
type of, when they talk a little bit like, you know. So I ended up getting it. I was like, wow, okay.
Apparently, I heard he likes to hire comedians.
Yeah, Bill Burr, all them. He hired me for another show of his called Battle Creek. It was on CBS. It was set in Battle Creek, Michigan, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because Vince Gilligan used to vacation. He was in the summer, Battle Creek. And a buddy of his, when they were kids, they went to camp there, and I guess they wrote that when he was writing for X-Files. I guess him and his friend had written the Battle Creek pilot. So after the success of Breaking Bad, he went back and got his buddy, and they did the show at CBS for like 2 years, and he booked me on that too.
So that was after Breaking Bad.
That was after Breaking Bad.
Oh,
After
nice.
Breaking Bad was done. But so when I first did it, I didn't know what the show was. I never heard of it. Like,
You never watched it?
I never watched most of the shit I've been on. I don't.
That's
unless
because I heard when you actually got it. I remember I was so excited for you. You're like, I don't even know what the fuck's
Yeah, people were like, dude, you don't Breaking Bad. I was like, yeah, what's the deal? Dude, it's the fucking greatest show ever. I was like, okay. So I thought it was just like a guest star role. So I did it, and then when they told me I was I was coming back, I couldn't tell anybody I was coming back, any of my friends. And then I was like, well, if I'm reoccurring and I find out, I was like, let me watch a couple episodes to get the vibe of it, you know, see what's going on. So I watched it. I went from the beginning, watched a couple episodes, and I was like, what the So that was like one of the only shows I was on that I've watched from the beginning to the end. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? What's going to happen? Because you don't get the script.
He gives you only
he
sides.
He just gives you your sides, doesn't
That's
tell
it.
you anything. You just, so you're kind of insecure when you're first doing it. I was like, is that, because he directed me on my first episode, and then Moira, one of the writers, she's like an Emmy-nominated director now. She directed me in the other two. And then I think I was shown in the fourth episode, but just kind of like surveillance stuff. But yeah, he's like a genius, man. He's so soft-spoken.
If anybody doesn't know, Mike was the guy. The
laundromat, yeah.
Mike played the character of the manager of the laundromat at that moment where the cops starting to figure out that maybe the operation was under the laundromat.
And I was the one that, when they killed everybody, I was the one they stabbed everybody in prison. I was the one that got lit up on fire.
And they lit him out on fire. And your character was used in the next season to show us how Mike was going out of his way to go to prison to talk to the men who worked with him, to tell them, hey, we're going to take care of your family. Just don't say shit.
Whole.
Right. You will remain whole.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you were an integral part of that story.
Yeah, man. It was pretty awesome experience. And I was going through a rough time during that time, like personally.
Yeah.
So I was like having to compartmentalize. There was a couple times, just to be honest with you. You know how it is in the business. Sometimes you get just everything's coming at once in your personal life, and so I was really kind of there. So that scene, I was.
You looked really stressed in that scene, just like how you should be.
So it kind of
like
played.
when he came up to you and you were all like,
Mike, the actor. And I'm sorry, his name escapes me, but he's one of my favorite character actors. He's been in. You know who he was? You'll know him. You ever see Beverly Hills Cop?
Yeah, I remember that.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
But he's been in everything, man.
Been in a lot
I
of
told
things.
him, I go, dude, Beverly Hills Cop.
He just
was
looked so
on.
different when he was young.
That's why I told him, I go, I didn't even know that was you. He goes, yeah, that was me.
Was he cool?
Very cool, very in his zone. So I didn't want to fuck with him because he's kind of intimidating. But he's a nice guy. But he caught me because for some reason I couldn't get it. Yeah, I couldn't get the lines. I was screwing up a little bit, and all he did, he looked at me. He goes, "Slow down, it's gonna be all right." And like he knew. Like I was trying to compartmentalize, but yeah, I was going through like quite a bit of personal stuff there.
He knew you were going through shit?
It was like he picked up that I wasn't really, there. And he that's all he did. It was just like, it was like a knowing look. I was like,
this was the scene where he meets you
in the jail. Yeah,
in the
It
jail.
was the second episode I did.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, he was such awesome. Everybody I worked with, I got to work with some of my heroes, man. They were great. Tony Shalhoub was like one of my favorite actors, top 3 of all time. And I did a movie with him, and he was great. He's the one that told me early on. He goes, just try not to do any terrorist roles. He goes, turn it down.
Try not to do any what?
Terrorist roles. Because at that time that I did a movie called American East with him. It was Alfred Woodard, Saeed Badria's film. He's a very famous Egyptian actor. And Tony Shalhoub was in. I was like, fuck. Because I was supposed to play another role in that. Anthony Azizi's role was like this Jordanian street dude. And I didn't get it. was like, fuck. He's like wanted to be a rapper, and Haas Slayman was in it. So I didn't get it, and then a week later, I was in line at some kind of Arabic symphony show with some girl, and then I saw the director and Saeed Badriya, and they go, hey, listen, we got this role. You ever see Jimmy Kimmel show?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the guy he has on there doing movies reviews, Yahya?
Yeah.
The Egyptian guy.
Yeah.
This is a good movie, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Okay. In this movie, Saeed Badriya, that was his handyman in real life. So this movie, he wrote Yahya into the role. He wrote him in the movie, Yahya. He's the handyman for the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yahya shows up on, there's a picture of me on Facebook. We had the screening, but I go, hey, I met the real Yahya, you know? So they go, hey, you want to come do this? And they told me when I got on set, they go, yeah, you know, the guy we wrote this for, he showed up on set and he never acted before. And then he goes, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And he got up and just walked off the set. And they couldn't do it. So he said they called me and, you think he did?
Why couldn't he do it?
He got nervous playing himself. He freaked out.
Oh, my God.
So I played him in the movie. So, you
wow.
have the Vic Zabai. I go, what the hell Zabai? I go, Zabai was a warrior. God damn it. Like, you could barely understand me. So I ended up playing that role instead of the Jordanian rapper dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
he couldn't play himself.
They wrote him into it. That was Saeed Badriya's handyman.
That's weird. Okay.
And I don't know how he got found by Jimmy Kimmel, but he's okay now. But when he was, I guess the acting thing, he was scared to do that.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't play himself. But yeah, Tony Shalhoub
Mike,
was
where's
like,
your phone right now?
it's right here.
Get it away from.
It's doing the buzz?
It's causing the buzz,
Okay.
bro.
So yeah, Tony Shalhoub gave me some great advice, and he came to see me doing stand up one time in New York, and just one of the most humble guys, real versatile. And I said, I go, you're my hero because you're an Arab, Lebanese, but you don't just play Arabs, you play different. He goes, yeah, I've been blessed, and I've da-da-da. And that's me. Like I've played, Italian and Latino and Russian, Armenian, Polish, apparently Murkowski. So nondescript. And I've played Arabs too, So so I've been thankful, man. I've been really thankful.
Yeah, bro.
I got it. Yeah.
You were
I
always
bullshitted my way into the business.
The thing with you, bro, is you were always nice, man. That's the one thing I always remember about you. Even when I first met you, when you did stand up, and then you found out that I was the one that did the Cribs video, and then we ended up having this mutual respect for each other. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, you were always this guy that was already ahead of a lot of people in especially myself in Hollywood. And when I ended up moving into Hollywood, you were just so. You really took care of me, bro, and I really appreciate that, man. Like you would get invited to these Hollywood parties that your agents would send you to.
Oh no, I would get invited. I didn't.
Huh?
I never played. Like I would get invited by.
That's what I'm saying. You got invited to these Hollywood parties. And then I'll get a text message from you and it was like, "Hey, bro, you want to go to this Hollywood party? It's gonna be in Hollywood. This is the address. When you get there, tell them you know me and fucking." Next thing you know, I'm inside hitting on girls.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They think I'm a producer.
They're like, "Is he with you?"
I was like, "I don't think so. I don't know the guy."
I run this place, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get
Hollywood is so weird, man. You know how many like I've been in a handful of these parties where I would pick up girls, okay, and then after we hook up, they find out I wasn't a part of the production.
Yeah, that could be tricky.
They just think because of the way I carry myself that I was something.
I had friends,
and then when they find out it was not, they were like, "No more pussy for you." It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I had friends I brought to the party because people don't really like recognize me from like I've been in quite a few things, but I look different or act different, so I'm not really very few times. So when they're talking to me, they're like, "Oh shit, you do fucking Adam Sandler movie." I'm like in my face, I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." Like they get all, I'm like, "Yeah, I know who I am." Yeah. But I had friends.
Will you have sex with me now?
Yeah, they were trying to. I said I can't do that, man.
What?
Because I have 6 sisters, man. I can't.
You can't have sex with women because you have 6 sisters. The fuck is going on here, bro?
Here's the thing. Not superficial. Like I get turned on by, like the looks are great, but after like some of the girls in Hollywood, like they're like not just 10s or 15s, but after like 5 minutes of talking to them, you're like,
no, I know.
Yeah, I don't think you're attractive anymore.
No, I know. I'm the same way.
Just empty. Like I went on a date with this one girl, and literally, her answer to everything when we went to dinner, she was like,
I know, that's crazy.
I was like, yeah, so what are you going to vote for? She goes,
I know, that's crazy. I know, that's crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, well, I gotta go now.
See, the thing is, funny for me that I'm like that too, man. But I do meet those hot girls that are kind of cool, and you can talk to them.
No, I've been lucky. The girls that I've been with,
but I've had like
nice.
a couple. I think about 3 parties I've been to where I met
LA?
a girl there. Yeah.
Okay.
Where I got invited to a party. So some of my friends are already like, really big in Hollywood. So they're doing like big shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then they'll have rap parties for the shows,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, those are fun.
And then I'll go to a rap party and I'm hanging out with my friends, right? Who are the stars of these shows.
Yeah.
And we're just friends hanging out. And then you know me, I'm very social. So not only do these people that are at this party see me talking to these stars,
They don't know who the fuck you are.
I'm also walking around talking to all kinds of people.
Oh.
And then there are these girls that are star fuckers. And,
They're just trying to get ahead.
I guess. And then they I end up talking to them the way I carry myself. Oh, do you know that person? Yeah, I know them for years or whatever. And then when I replay it backwards after they realize I'm nobody.
You're not a nobody.
Well, no, but what I'm saying
You can't do something for them. is what it
Exactly,
is.
right.
Like, what can they? You know what it is?
It's so weird, and it's just like, oh shit.
Well, they try to-
You thought I was something.
Well, they try to probe you. If they don't know who you are, they try to probe you to see what.
Yeah, I
so
get that.
what do you? What did you like? What did you do in this production? Or oh my god, did you?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're an actor? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I've never lied either.
I'm like,
I've never lied.
yeah. Yeah, I don't.
I never lied. I never said, oh yeah, I was just whatever.
Or
But
I don't do it like on planes.
it was
like if somebody
after the
asks-
fact. Then
yeah.
they realized, oh, you're not what?
Yeah, I'll do that. I don't like to. It's too much. You know what it is? Because they don't recognize it, so they literally will. So what have you been in? And you're like, oh fuck, you got to do your resume. Oh, I've been in. What? No, I saw you in something. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, Everybody Loves Raymond, or I've done this. I've done, yeah. But, no, I didn't see that either. And I was at the airport one time, and he was like, this guy goes, I was at the airport, and this guy keeps looking at me, right? He goes, you look familiar. Hi, you look familiar, man. Who I go, I don't know. I've been on TV. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, so I tell him, some stuff, and I start, name of the Bernie Mac show. Maybe you watch that. He goes, no. Oh, honey, come here. He looks like my cousin Rob, right? I said, you motherfucker. I'm like running down my resume for this piece of shit, and he goes, hey, honey, come here. It looks like Rob, doesn't he? I was like, oh.
Honey, he was like that guy we had a threesome with last year.
Yeah,
Remember
right,
him?
The Eagles.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why am I running? So I don't even say shit anymore. Like if I'm on plane, if I'm flying to do a stand-up gig, I say, oh, what do you do? I don't say I'm a stand-up. Oh my god, you're not gonna put me in your act, are you?
Oh yeah.
I was like, no, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd rather just kind of avoid it.
Somebody wanted to say something. They had a question.
A question? You're taking questions? Okay.
What do you think sentiments about Arabs in Hollywood was like back then?
Back then,
That was from Sergio.
in the 90s, I think I got there in 95, 96. It was very limited. Like I said, at that time, especially when fucking 9/11 hit, it was like, I was blessed and cursed that I didn't look like an Arab. But some of my friends back then, they were just, any terrorist you saw in a movie was like, boom, that was them. It was limited. Now it has opened up. Certain movies started, coming to the light. TV shows. My friend Rami, his show is getting a lot of heat. A lot of filmmakers. So it's a different. There's I guess the PC culture kind of opened things up, basically. You know what I mean? Try to kill all the stereotypes. But back then it was very, it was stereotypical. Every time you saw everybody, this is a hijack, like what I mean? And that was it. That's all you saw.
Yeah.
And I had to turn down a couple of things like Tony Shalhoub said. I think I played one. I was on a show called Sleeper Cell with Michael Ealy. On Showtime, I was recurring on there. And I liked it because I wasn't a terrorist. I was the money guy from Mexico. I played Ziad. I called myself Z Diddy. So I would get I would sell drugs. I would, do dealings with white supremacists to get dynamite with and give them. So that wasn't, that was kind of out of the fray. So it wasn't me with the, rapping and shit. That wasn't me. I've turned down a couple like
Any
pretty
roles,
good paychecks.
Any roles I got,
You know why?
I never got terrorist.
But you know why? Because it said, somebody said this. It was like, yeah, the paycheck may be big, but your legacy is going to be
Tarnished.
the money's going to run out. Yeah. Then you're like, oh, you did this. He's great. Oh, but he did that. And that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people stick out when you do stand up. Everybody's dying laughing, and then that one person that's not laughing, you fucking tend to focus on.
I don't.
It's the I kind of do.
I don't give a fuck about them.
Well, I told you because I don't do that. I didn't do that anymore after I talked to a certain audience member once when they were.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah. The whole. Do you want to tell that
What
story?
the
That's
yeah.
funny.
Well, she was just like
That's a funny story.
like this, and I kind of said something there. She just wasn't laughing. And then she came and she goes, "Thank you so much. My brother passed from cancer this week." I was like, "Oh man, oh my God, that's fuck. I get it now. So I'm not gonna do that when I see somebody just like,
Yeah.
you know what the fuck they're going through." And yeah, I was telling you the story about.
Sometimes they're just high.
telling you a story
Sometimes
about
they
the-
smoke too much weed and they can't even listen.
I was telling you the story about you don't know. I was at the Ha Comedy Club, and I think I told you this a couple of days ago. There was a table full of like hot girls, like off to the left of the stage, and like every comic on before me was like kind of commenting. It wasn't a bachelorette party, but it was just these hot little, just very distracting women. So I get up there and I see this guy who's just like, stage is here. I'm up here performing, and he's like this. I go, hey. I'm up here, but he goes, I'm blind, sir.
God, that fuck.
I'm sorry, I did it again. That's how loud it was.
Fuck.
That's how loud it was.
I gotta turn
And
this
it
fucking
stopped.
shit now.
It stopped the whole show. Like, I had no idea because he didn't have that blind. You know how they do the blind look? They're like,
Yeah.
and they do this shit. This guy was literally like just looking at just.
You're
like
a
this.
blindest.
He was staring at the thing. I'm blind, so I was like, oh, that's how I learned my lesson, not to. Yeah, pay attention.
Yeah. I don't.
Sorry about that blowing your ears.
I don't let those. It's not your fault. I don't let those people get to me when I do stand up. I don't fuck that.
You know what? They don't get to you, but it's the psyche. A lot of my friends, they'll say it. They'll be like, "Hey, that one, they're not giving up shit." Like they'll pass it on to you. Like that one, good luck with that one. So
I don't.
everybody
listen to them.
tends to focus. I could be in a theater of 700 now. I'll notice. You know what I mean? It just
Fuck that shit, bro.
It doesn't fuck me up.
The thing is, I
I'll
think
I'll be like, "You're gonna laugh, motherfucker."
I think there's a. I think the thing is that there's a. I have parts of my set where I specifically are telling jokes that are probably going to make the audience turn on me.
Like purposefully?
Yeah.
Like you do it on purpose?
Yeah.
Or are you just saying, "Hey, I'm speaking my mind. If they do it, they do it."
I have jokes that I know it's either going to fucking crush or the audience is going to turn on me.
Yeah.
And I do it on purpose. And I do it specifically. I like to do it. I call it the rising phoenix.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is
Yourself out of a hole.
I'll crush, right? Then I'll do my pedophile joke. Pedophile joke. Sometimes
Cricket.
people will die.
Wow.
A lot of the times, half the room will laugh, half the room like, no, I'm not laughing. That's not cool. But then I have a way to get out of it, right? So if they turn on me, I have a punchline to get a laugh out of them from turning on me. But I like doing that. And sometimes I like doing that to test the audience. So I'll do certain jokes where I know it's not going to get a laugh. It'll be offensive. And I'll just stare at everyone.
Like daring them.
Oh, yeah. I'll like look at them. So
That's
to me.
that's a good method of comedy. Every time you do a joke, you go,
Fuck this, bro.
you getting a booty call in the middle of a podcast?
Booker.
A hooker?
Booker.
Same thing.
I should put on airplane mode.
Same thing. I think people, especially now, I was noticing it the last few years, especially in LA, is like a lot of self-centered people, even more so in the world, like because everybody's like a 15-minute star now. Everybody has that platform now. So people they personalize everything, especially in comedy clubs. Like if they don't like a joke, they feel like they have to speak on behalf of everybody. in the audience, and even half-formed jokes. Like I was there the night that this is an old story, but Dane Cook was testing out material at the last factory, and I forgot the thing he was doing. The joke wasn't even fully formed, but he was talking about jackhammer fucking a girl. It may have been a rape thing, but it wasn't like everybody laughed though the way he did it. And this one girl went home and wrote about it because thank God nobody was recording. And it got so much traction. But I was there and everybody was laughing. And this woman the media picked it up, and like this is before cancel culture, but it just blew my mind that a person can just, I'm going to go home and say it happened this way because they personalize it because maybe something happened to them. Sure. They got jackhammer raped or fucked, whatever the fuck happened to them. Right. But you can't do that. You're fucking up the fun for everyone around you. Now I'm saying that to say this. When I say you're fucking up the fun around you, people are getting so brave now, they'll stop a show. They'll stop a show.
What are you talking about? They'll stop a show?
They will speak up during a performance. Are you done yet with that joke? They'll speak. I've seen it happen. It happened to me once or twice. Like this is years ago, but I kind of shut it down and made it, kind of turned it on them without being mean. You can't be mean, man. If you get too confrontational with the audience, it just never works out good. You got to really fucking work hard to get the rest of the, because it becomes a pack mentality. You know what I mean? So if you go off on one person and you're getting a little hostile, even if you were in the right, for some reason the crowd, it's mob mentality. They'll end up turning on you sometimes. So then you have everybody.
I find that in smaller rooms, it's like that.
That's what I mean.
The smaller the room, the more
mob.
easier for them to turn on you because everyone can see. So, for example, if you do like an offensive joke, right, in a small room, chances are they're not going to laugh, right? Why? Because if you laugh in a small room, everyone knows you're the one that laughed at that joke. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Typically in a larger room, you will do a joke like that, right? 15% of the room will laugh. Yeah. And when 15% of that room laughs, it gives credence to the rest of the room. It's okay to laugh. Does that make sense? So sometimes you'll do in those big rooms and you'll hit the punchline and it'll be like, ha ha ha.
It's a hurt. It really is.
And then it catches on.
Well, people don't understand. Like, I would say that that stand-up was my religion when I would say that. It was like, it really is a spiritual experience. I don't know if you're spiritual or not, but it's the closest I feel because when you get all these rooms of strangers together, you guys, there's like some flow happening and everybody's laughing together and you're getting that energy back. You feel something. So if one thing is off, like I said, it makes it uncomfortable and it starts trickling. So that one person could really stop a show. And I think some of those people feel empowered enough to be like, some of them had that in the back of their head. Let's see how much fun I can fucking ruin. Like, it's a sad thing.
It is a sad thing.
That's their only way because they could stand up. And now with social media,
well, now it's made it more popular to be that way. Now people are getting more brownie points for doing that shit.
And it kind of takes the fun out of stand up sometimes,
I think it kind of makes it more fun.
It does, but overall, it's not as. Cause I've
it does
seen some
suck.
of my friends that aren't totally themselves, or they had to change, and it's good to adjust. And like I said, you have to adjust when you're a comic. You have to, you're playing. Like when I was playing Dubai, you can say this, or when you go to Egypt, you can't say that. When you go to, Seattle, you got to say, don't do this. You can say this with this crowd. So you have to adjust. You have to ask ahead of time, or you have to tweak your stuff last second. So that's just part of the thing. It's just like, it's a social thing. You go into a party. Well, this party's a little lame, so I got to just tone it down a little bit. Or, hey, this is a wild man. I'll be fucking beer chugging out my ass, So you have to adjust. But it's not as open and experimental sometimes as I feel like it used to be.
I just think that's why I like doing portions of my set where I train the audience again.
You train them?
Meaning I'm gonna do stuff it's gonna laugh. This is gonna make you laugh. This is gonna make you laugh. And then I have 5 minutes of my set where this is for me, and I'm gonna enjoy watching everybody be uncomfortable while I say this shit.
It's like that little kid. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching
exactly,
you. I'm not
right?
touching you. I'm not. And then.
Yeah, it's like I'm almost becoming like kind of Andy Kaufman-esque for 5 minutes, where it's just like
he's my hero.
I'm just doing it for myself, Yeah. I'm not a real big fan of Andy Kaufman though.
If you're really watching what he did, he made the audience the entertainment. Like he was doing it for him. So it was very ballsy.
It was ballsy.
It was so ballsy and like wow.
It was like you're not even trying to make
How
people
he got
laugh.
away with it. I was like, son of a bitch.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah.
I heard some great stories about him and
This whole podcast is people who cannot stand listening to people eat food. They're not listening to this podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This whole podcast is like.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was picking up. Okay, I'll stop. I gotta watch my girlish figure anyways. I'll stop. You're the one that fed me food. It's such an Arab podcast. Yeah, there's some shawarma. Do my podcast.
Let me get a potato ball.
That's how I'm getting paid. Fucking the shawarma. So Arab. Anyways, go ahead. Ask me anything you want. Yeah. I know I went off on tangents with comedy.
So what was your last relationship like?
It was.
I'm fucking with you.
It was 4. It's been 4 years since I've known a woman's touch. It's been 4 years. The last relationship.
Did you hear
I
that,
had
ladies? Guys,
Was
hit up Mike
I'm
Batayeh.
saving myself for someone special.
yeah, man. It was.
You're not hooking up with anyone?
It was a girl I used to know in college, and when I came back to Michigan to make it home base again, she was great woman, but it's kind of
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? I'm still friends with any girl I've ever loved, except for 2, but
Some of them you got to cut out.
well, yeah, and then they, but that's what I'm saying. When you love somebody, man, you can say what you want. There's always gonna be, you love them for a reason. There was a connection there that you don't want to lose. So you gotta at least maintain the friendship because it was an important person in your life, and they help form you.
Sure.
Like I said, I even
But some of them
bad
are toxic,
relationship-
and you got to let them go. Period.
Exactly, but even the bad relationships, and I hate to sound all spiritual and shit, Oprah-esque, but you grow, you don't see it, but later on you're like, oh, that was important, and then you end up reconnecting later on. It was just a time in your lives that you guys weren't gelling, and you're different people, and like I had 2 that I reconnected with years later, and really good friends. Really,
That's
good. Friends.
good.
Yeah.
I like to stay friends with girls that I've dated in the past, but some of them they just was just.
I've had some crazy, yeah.
You gotta like keep them. Just get the fuck away. So you're not on Tinder or anything?
I won't be ignored. No, I can't do the
swiping.
I need to have a connection, meet them, and
But I mean, usually
run into them. I believe in serendipity, man. I believe if you run into them, you run into them. I know a couple people that got married, a few people that got married off of
the apps.
eHarmony and stuff like that.
I can
Internet, Pornhub. That's it. That's as far as I'm going. I'm not going to eHarmony.
Really?
Yeah.
You're saying if you're going to be on the internet, you would rather feel your hand looking at a woman as opposed to trying to attract the woman coming to you.
No, what it is
The fuck is
like
that?
the sterility of it. It's just like it's just
Sterility?
It seems
how
sterile.
sterile it is.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
You just got to give it a shot.
Listen, we're social creatures. You need to feel somebody, and like I said, I just feel weird. Hey, let's
Yeah, but
meet
how are
up.
you feeling somebody when you're on Pornhub? You're not.
Oh, it's different. Let's not split hairs.
Split cunt hairs, bro. Come on.
Let's not split hairs. Why you gotta talk? Your mom's in the other room.
Cunt.
She's
Like, Mike, I hear you talking the cunt.
She has no idea what cunt means.
I know, right?
No
I
clue.
love Arab mothers.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. So no. I mean, the dating apps. Listen, they're not always the best, but in the end, it's like it supplements.
Yeah, maybe I'll
like
get
how
around to it.
often. So when I look at it, how often am I, out meeting a girl in public, as you know.
Yeah, especially I think that's what it's been doing it for me. The COVID thing.
Now it's happened because I've been doing stand up again.
Yeah.
And then after
You're
stand up, sometimes after you can like
That was
converse
a great
with some
way.
girls.
But some of the girls I met with stand up was like, you better not make this part of your act. You better not make this part of your act. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it part of the act. Like, shut the fuck up already. Like, it's annoying.
I've heard that a few times.
It's kind of annoying. Like,
You
can
better
we
not make
just-
this a
can we
part of
just
your act.
be,
But like, you're already part of
You
my
better
act.
not make this part of your act.
Yeah, that's
Like
fucking
everything
whatever.
they say, like everything's like funny. I'm like, no, you're not that entertaining, sweetheart.
Yeah. I don't know, man. If I knew how much girls you can attract doing stand up, I would have done it way sooner, bro.
Yeah, but it's
know?
empty. No, listen, I've met some great women, and not just in a sexual manner, like friends. I've met really great female friends.
Me too.
So it's like
After I have sex with them.
everything's like I gotta have sex. Like
After I have sex with them, then we're friends.
listen, it's human nature.
joking,
It's
I'm joking.
man's nature. Like any hot, you the first thing you're thinking about, oh, I gotta try to. But after that, just something happens. Like there's a couple times when you hook up with a woman and you make out, and you're just like, and you're like, we should just be friends. Like it just
I've
feels,
had that.
yeah, and it's weird
I've
because they're
had that.
stunning, and you just give that knowing look
I
to each
have
other. Like
that.
I think we're just meant to be friends.
It's kind of like when Luke Skywalker kind of knew that Leia was his sister. You know what I mean? Before he really knew, it was kind of like, wait a second.
Yeah. I'm the next Jerry Springer. It's listen, man. Humans are it's just a strange thing, the connection with people. And
You know, like I
really
understand the
is.
whole empty feeling that you're thinking of, like, oh, it's empty if you're not like really like whatever. But I don't know, man. I kind of enjoy
empty in what man? You mean
like
sex with women?
hookups. Yeah, you know.
What?
The thing is I used to be that mindset. I used to grow up being monogamous. I was Yemeni, so I grew up in a way where I always looked at relationships as a monogamous thing, right?
Yeah.
Even though
I'm
as a
still
kid
like
I still hooked up, once in a while, but I've always landed myself into relationships. And then my entire 20s, I wasted that relationship on one woman for 9 years, and then
How was that a waste?
well, because at the end it didn't. She just turned out to be a lying, compulsive liar, and then I ended up having to break up with her.
Okay, but my point is,
Yeah.
you said 9 years you wasted. How was that a waste if it was 9 years of your life? You didn't get shit out of it?
I mean, listen, I get what you're saying.
That's what I mean.
I'm talking about from a investment in one person's standpoint.
Pussy is not stock.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not, man. You don't say,
Yes.
I invested my penis under...
But it's time. You're investing time into a person who later on
I
is
used to
going
think that
to who's later on going to break your heart because one, they don't have integrity, they're not trustworthy, they don't have the ability to self-reflect and actually build a relationship with you. They have too much of an ego, and then when you tell them that they do something wrong, they want to pick a fight and just keep turning the tables. You can't build a relationship with like someone like that. So mind you, from the mindset of a guy who lived his 20s with one woman, after I ended up having to break up with her and it was heartbroken, I couldn't help but look at it and be like, yo, my dick could have had a lot more fun. My dick could have had way more fun while it was working way more better. You know what I'm saying? So in my mindset, I was like, fuck this shit. I got to train myself to not be so codependent. I need to train myself to be more independent, to not think that I have to have a woman all the time. So when I did that, it trained me to sort of like learn how to be okay with being with a woman intermittently and not have to have this Arab mentality where I have to make her mine or that she is mine and now she can't be with anyone else or whatever. So I forced myself to do that. I forced myself to think, as people would say, like a player, right? But I was honest. I wasn't a player. I wasn't the guy that would tell a girl, hey, I love you, I'm going to marry you, but all I wanted was sex, really. What I would tell women is straight the hell up. We would meet, whatever, we'd hook up, and then I would tell them straight up, I'm like, I like you, this is great, I'm not looking for a relationship. If you're cool with that, I'd like to keep that going. If not, then, I respect that.
You would tell them after you got the nookie.
I mean, it all depends. Sometimes you would meet a girl,
Yeah.
then the sex will happen, right? And then after that, after the dust settles.
I'm just getting the image of throwing her in so many different positions. And then you're done. You're like, hey, we need to talk.
Yeah, for real.
Like, what are you saying?
I have a wife.
Like, hey, listen, take the ball gag out of your mouth. We need to have a serious talk, sweetheart.
Yeah, for real.
This is just not enough. I need somebody a little bit more moral compass.
Yeah, exactly. You don't read enough books.
No, you could be. No, I hear what you're saying.
And
I just have a different. Listen, I'm not saying I was like you, but mentality wise, I would be like, man, what the fuck? I wasted all my time, and it happened like this, and then, like I said, when you reconnect with somebody years later, you really find out, like, oh, you know what? If that didn't happen, then this wouldn't have happened, and that wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have handled this next situation that way. And
Sure.
So they literally are part of the evolution of you.
Of course, that's
why I never
that is
look
not,
back anymore.
That
I'm
is
like, fuck that bitch.
Oh, I don't either. Listen, in my mind, I always looked at that relationship. Look at all the positive things I got from that. Of course, I got so much positive things from being in a relationship with this girl. In the end, when they lied to me, and then it was like, yo, you keep lying, I have to break up with you. That's
What do
heartbreaking.
you mean? Can I probe you real
Yeah.
quick? What do you mean lying? Like about they were fucking around on you, or they lied about the size of your penis and
Bro, just
told
lying.
you you were big, but you weren't?
What does it matter?
Okay. Listen, I was just asking.
Do you know what I'm saying? In the end, what does it matter? If I'm going to be investing my time and my heart with someone, right? Right? I better fucking be able to trust your fucking ass. I don't care what the fucking lie is. If I catch you in a small lie, if you can at least be like, yeah, you know what, you got me. I'm sorry.
I don't know if the viewers just caught that look in my eye, but I had a little self-reflective moment. I was like, "Hello, darkness, my friend." Secret. I started thinking about a relationship. I started thinking about this relationship from 10 years. I was like, "Yeah, that fucking bitch." And I'm thinking,
Yeah,
no,
man.
No, I hear you.
So to me, like, you get all that positive stuff, but all I'm saying is this. I spent my 20s with her, right? In my early 30s with her. After a while, once I got into my 30s, I was like, yo. I saw all my other friends, they just out there, just playing the field. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give that shot for a while.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You know?
I never could do that.
At first, I couldn't.
I've never, when I've been in love, like, that's it. Like, in a relationship, I've never cheated on any of my, like, relationships.
Really?
Never. No.
I used to never. And then
I just can't. There's, you know what it is?
And
here's
then
what my sisters told me this. They go, listen, women fucking know. Even if you don't say shit, women have this thing. They know.
Okay.
They won't tell you.
Right.
All right.
Right.
It'll be held in here, but that's a little in their mental Rolodex. But they feel it. I'm telling you, they know. And you could say it all. You could think you're a fucking great, liar and everything. But the women they'll tolerate it.
I don't
for a
cheat.
while, but they know.
I don't cheat on my women.
Yeah.
I just know that once I know I'm starting to think about cheating on them, the relationship's over. For real. That's because to me, I'm very loyal to people who I can trust. Once I know I'm starting to have this internal, like, I'm looking to cheat on her.
We need to break up for 2 weeks.
No. Once I know I'm gonna
sabbatical.
Once I know that I want to cheat on her, Mike, that's when I know deep down inside something about her I don't trust, and that typically is the signal for me to start looking deeper into her, to be like, wait a minute, what is it about her that I'm not jiving with, that I'm not actually seeing? You know.
So when you feel like fucking around, you just turn the tables and make it justifiable, like, that bitch is up to something.
No, I break up.
I better go fuck some friends.
No. I'm not gonna go fuck other people. What I'm saying, once I start thinking like that,
Yeah, to hit you.
that's it. That's when I start thinking. I'm like, oh, like the last girl. I knew I was gonna break up with her when I went to Austin.
That's the one did I meet her?
I don't know if you met
No,
her.
I saw pictures of her. You were doing a little.
what?
She had a bikini or something on. I made a little comment.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know
But
that.
anyway, so yeah, with her, I had to I broke up with her. I knew when I was already that week in Austin, because I wanted to cheat on her so bad.
There's nothing worse than if you're on vacation.
And then even before that, I wanted to cheat on her. And then when I really thought about it, every time I know that I feel like I want to cheat on a girl, you know what I realized, Mike? I was forcing myself not to see something about them because I didn't want to believe that I had to break up with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know. But you know when
like they'll disrespect you, but then you'll bury it and you won't even worry about it, right?
You know, I would notice because I would like study people, but like this one girl that I knew we were at the end. It was like a 4-year relationship, but I felt it like it was coming from her, because I remember like I would walk into a room and she'd be talking to them, and you walk in like, they give you that look. You know that look when she's talking to her friends and you walk in, they give you like, oh, she's so great.
They do that when you're driving. Do you ever get that look when they stare at you when you're driving?
I'm going to tell you, this is when I knew it was coming. So she would give me that look, and then we'd be sitting on the couch watching TV, and I would just like stare at her, like, you just get like, she's so beautiful, and then she'd be like, what? Why are you staring at me? All lovey-dovey shit. When it started going down, I started noticing that to this. When I walk in the room, she's like, it.
So what was that?
Or just that look.
What do you think it was?
I'm going to tell you right now. And then we sit on the couch, and I fucking stare at her again, and she's like, what? Like, I'm like, what? Why do you keep staring at me? I'm like, So it was more, we talked about it years later, what it was, it wasn't me. It was just like, it was a classic. It was one of those issues where it's commitment issues or whatever the fuck was happening. But that's how you can tell. It's like they give it away before they say it.
They
Just
give
like
what away?
they show their hand. Like, a girl, both woman and girl, they know they're going to break up with you a year in advance. You're on fucking probation.
I think you're giving them too much of credit. Year in advance.
Dude,
Come on.
I had many female friends and my sisters. They know within a year they're going to break up, but you're on probation. So they're giving you a chance to, like...
I do that to girls.
Straighten your shit up. Exactly. And most men don't. They just feel it for like a month, and they're like, this ain't working out. Most men.
I notice it pretty early.
Yeah, but you'll keep them that long for a year?
Not a year. I will give them maybe 2 months. It depends
And
on,
you put on probation.
It depends. Well, the thing is that, like, if you care about a person, you got to give them a chance sometimes, right?
Yeah, but I just
you got
found
to bring it up, and you can't just break up with them because they do something wrong. You got to give them a chance to redeem themselves.
I just found it fascinating that the women I've talked to, they were like, yeah, we know, like, months in advance, sometimes up to a year, but we, like, try to give you a chance up to a year, and then we just keep watching.
I don't know, up to a year's a
little.
Up year's a little much.
I knew somebody that stayed for like a year. A couple of them stayed up to a year because they had so much time invested. They were like, maybe this is worth salvaging, or they started noticing the changes in them. And it's happening. And then,
to me, I'll do that, and then what ends up happening is that I'll start to realize this person is not going to change, and then I start having that, damn, I want to cheat on her. And that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to break up with this girl.
Fucking women. All right, man, let's change topic because I told you I don't want to talk about relationships, and we talked about it.
Well, we're talking
Son
about
of a bitch.
pussy, bruh. I love talking about pussy,
I feel
bruh.
weird you saying that. Your mom's probably listening at the bottom of the
My
stairs.
mom can't hear, bro.
Wow. She's a nice lady, too.
She is really nice.
sweet.
She's hilarious,
Yeah.
too. My mom's hysterical,
Hey,
bro.
can I give her my number? I'm just fucking with you. I'm sorry. I'm just so lonely, Michael.
Get on Tinder, bro. The fuck?
I'll get on the Arabic Tinder. Thunder.
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 I love to use the thunder, bro.
What's your name? You have a beautiful eye.
Yeah, your eye is very, very
I
nice.
had an uncle that used to say that to girls. You have a beautiful eye.
Beautiful eye.
Just one eye?
I like your breast. All right, bro. So what do you think about aliens? Real or not real?
Aliens?
Have you heard of the recent shit that's been coming out?
Yeah, can I tell you something too? When I was a kid, twice I saw something in the air. Twice. Once, literally, I was coming out of that movie E.T., young kid, and then me and my sister, she took me to go see it. And I remember we looked up and we saw like a red thing, and that stuck with me. Stuck with me, right? Now, years later, I'm walking, it was Halloween night, and I'm walking by Holy Redeemer Church, okay? And I'm cutting down a street called Christiancy, and I look up and I see these two, it was orbs. It was like dusk time. Orbs, right? I was like, what the fuck? That freaked me out. Now, flash forward from that point, years later, this girl and I were at a party. Her name was Julie, and I don't know how it came up, but I was talking about when I was a kid. I go, yeah, it was Halloween, and I see that. She goes, are you kidding me? I go, yeah, no, I saw it. I go, yeah. She goes, I saw that. I saw that night. She lived on Ferdinand Street. She saw that. Okay, then years later, I'm living in L.A. My friend Lombardo Boyar, actor buddy of mine, been tons of stuff, right? So he's actually doing a Jeremy Rayner, the Jack Ryan show right now. Shout out to Bardo Boyar. Check him out, guys. So me and him, we're getting high. We're driving down Sunset. I'm sorry, Lancashire. And we look up and we start seeing people like doing this shit. And the cars, the light had turned green and nobody's moving. We looked up and it was this really weird, it was a cloud, but it was like something behind the cloud that was projecting the cloud. Everybody saw it, dude. There was cars here.
There was
people
something behind the cloud projecting the cloud?
It was
Or there was
projecting
light
the cloud
coming
forward. No. It was projecting. There was no lights. It was like daylight. But the cloud was in the sky, and I don't know how to. There's no scientific term for this. It was
It was being moved.
propulsion. Okay, it was like a propulsion unit behind the cloud, and it was moving it much quicker than the other clouds that were just
So
sitting casting the side.
something was pushing the cloud.
Yeah, it was a propulsion thing coming from behind you. You didn't see anything, but the cloud was obviously moving quick. It was really strange. So 3 separate occasions, but I'd never seen aliens, so I can't say yes, there's aliens. I was obsessed with it for a while.
Were you?
I was rabbit hole, like I was Deep Space 6 with aliens most of my life. I was
No shit.
reading all the books, Whitley Strieber's book. I was reading The Fourth Kind. I tons of books about aliens because it piqued my interest since I was a kid.
When you saw that orb.
When I saw that thing when I was a kid after E.T., when I saw that thing, the
cloud?
the 2 orbs by Holy Redeemer Church when I was a little bit older, and I talked to that girl years later, and she saw the same thing the same night. She witnessed it too, and we didn't know each other at that time. But she goes, "Oh my God, I saw that." I was like, "What?" We both freaked. So that's when it was it was validated. I was like, "Okay, I'm not crazy. Something was up there." But the aliens, I don't know. Just like I say, I was real religious and all that, but now I'm at a point where I'm like, and I stopped believing in God, and then maybe there's a different thing. But I can honestly say I don't know.
Have you heard about the
Because if
latest?
you say either or, you're arrogant.
Have you
No.
heard of the latest findings?
About the naval,
All
the
that
Navy
shit?
footage? And then there's underwater.
The one that went underwater?
Neil deGrasse Tyson said something too that was pretty interesting, because he's a skeptic. Big time. He
big time.
tries to, but he was like, well, you got to ask yourself. It was only caught on radar. It was never caught with the eye. It was on radar. It showed up on the radar. It went down on the water, but it came back on the radar. And that's all he said. He said, if it's reading on the radar and it goes off radar, was it really there? Because none of them said. Only 2 parts.
But they got video of it.
They got video, is what he's saying. But I can't exactly remember how he broke it down. It was like an anomaly of visual spectrum, because their vision at that level, it's impossible to see this angle, and the video's catching something, and it jets off radar, and it comes back on radar. So he says, now you got to ask yourself, what? He's talking quantum physics type shit. To where I was like, okay, that's another angle on that. And there's another angle saying it could be they're coming from another dimension. It could be us.
It could be future people.
It could be future people. It could be.
Another thing is they think it might be intraplanetary. It might be from the center of the planet.
Also, they're saying that the aliens are probably not flying those things, just like we're sending.
It's a drone.
We're sending Yeah.
It's probably just a drone.
So that's why I said I don't know. But all I know is what I saw. Those 3 separate occasions.
To me, what's crazy is like Einstein, theorized that there was a curvature in space-time.
That's how they're predicting, yeah.
And then
propulsion system.
and then with his equations, he discovered that there was a curvature around Earth because of our gravitational pull, and it bends space-time.
That's how they're saying those crafts, they bend.
They bend space-time to
That's
travel.
propulsion.
I think Bob Lazar said instead of going to the destination, they bring the destination to them. What the fuck, bro?
It's that's what I'm saying. It's too mind-boggling to put my brain around anymore, to where I'm like, just when you hear one theory, another one pops up, but we don't know. And it's arrogant. I hate it when atheists, there is no God. I bet you can't see him. And then
Same thing with the religious people.
On the other side,
Yeah.
the religious people, no, there is a God, and this happened. Thank God. Really, thank God that happened. But what about the hurricane that killed everybody? But thank God we survived.
Yeah.
Just okay, because your family survived.
That's so
God's
funny,
a
isn't it?
miracle. Like, he bitch slapped everybody, all your neighbors, but he saved. So it's like I can't. But when I was an altar boy, I wanted to be a priest. Like up until 12 years old, I wanted to be a priest, and I took my first hit of weed. I was like, I'll see you in about 40 years. Never look back.
Have you done DMT?
Never have I done DMT. No.
Done mushrooms?
I have never got anything out of mushrooms.
You didn't take enough to like.
No, I took a hero's amount, and it just didn't do anything to me.
You didn't meet God or anything?
No, I did not.
Wow.
No.
LSD?
I did a lot of chemicals when I was a kid.
LSD?
So maybe no, I never do that.
Masculine?
Did a lot of mescaline.
I've
when I
never
was a
done
kid.
masculine. What is that like?
That's what did it. Oh, let me tell you a funny story. There's different types of mescaline. orange would make you laugh. You trip for hours. So me and my cousins, we would go to Fairlane Mall. And I guess we tried this other mescaline. We were like 16, 17, being stupid. We took a white one, and that makes you hallucinate a little bit. So we're walking around Fairlane, and we're fucking tripping out.
Fairlane.
Laughing. Fairlane Mall. We're like, yeah, crazy. And then we start kind of coming down, and we're standing by the movie theater, you know, the entrance.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there like trying to, and we're starting to realize we're tripping out a little bit. And then we see these two people walking, and they're going, and we're like, oh yeah, I can't hear. I can't hear. Oh my God, I can't hear. And we're hugging each other. I can't hear.
He
Oh
can't
my
hear
God.
too. The other friends also.
We saw those people walking by, and we're like, I can't hear. Oh my God. And we're crying. And then we realized we could hear each other. And then we look over, and it was two deaf people. You know how they talk?
Yeah.
But it didn't dawn on
You
us.
guys were
We
tripping.
I
That's
can't hear.
hilarious.
I can't. We're like, wait a minute. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And that was the last time I took mescaline. I was like, hey, do this again, man. It's good looking, man.
I'm kind of mad. I've never
Fine.
done mescaline. I heard it's fun.
Yeah, I think you gotta. You know, I'm not an advocate for drugs, but if you do it, you know, kids out there, do it late teens.
Late teens.
Listen, okay, because listen, when you reach your 20s, you got to start, you know, taking responsibility for yourself.
Right.
Okay, but when you're a teen, you're living at home. You really don't have that much responsibility other than doing your.
I
damn
think
homework.
it's better to wait till your brain is fully formed. Do it in your mid-20s, man.
Well, I agree with that too. That's what I'm saying. Don't do. I did it too young, but I had no parental guidance. Like my mom died when I was 13, and I was in Southwest Detroit. My dad worked at Ford all day, so I was kind of unsupervised and hanging with the wrong crowd. And so you're like, yeah, what's that? Okay, let me do this. Like I was just partying. It was. I think I was, you know, suppressing my mom's death and all that too. So I'll blame it on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was just like hold court with all these, you know, dangerous people and just cracking jokes and da. But it did make me. I wish I hadn't done it that early, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of okay with it that I did it that early because I got it out of my system.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, whatever is gonna open your mind, open it. Like I said, I discovered, like in LA, you discover meditation and you start dating girls that do yoga, and you could reach some of those levels that way. If you want to smoke weed, go ahead. Cocaine, don't do cocaine.
No.
No.
I've done it 3 times so far in my entire life.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's just it's the only thing that nothing's pure anymore, but it doesn't really enlighten you. It just makes you
Numb.
It makes you feel like you're a great dude, but on the outside you're just an asshole.
No, I know.
Yeah. Bill Cosby said it in one of his specials a long time ago. He goes, I asked the guy, what is it about cocaine? And he goes, well,
Good impression.
it really it intensifies your personality. He goes, but what if you're an asshole? Like that's pretty much it. It just intensifies who
It does.
you are.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't do anything for me.
And I've noticed, there's just it's just.
I think I'm already on cocaine, and I do it.
you
Doesn't
don't
really
need
do
it.
much.
It's never a good vibe. You're just talking a lot, and people. I just like observe people. And
The last time I
cocaine's
did
like-
it was in Austin with a couple of comics, you know, and then they were like, "Hey, you want to?" And I was like, "Nah."
And nothing's pure anymore, so you're probably
And
getting Similac. You know,
Maybe.
it's not healthy.
And
for
we
you.
did it, and all it really does is just make you more chatty.
You know what I would like to do?
And I enjoyed that one because I actually had a good conversation with these guys. So
Well,
all
you're
it,
talking about nothing. If you record it and you guys listen back to it, it's really talking about nothing. But you know what I
maybe.
I guarantee you're not talking about shit.
I'm gonna have to record
Like,
it.
yeah, man. You know, I gotta tell you, man. I did this thing, and then yeah, so it was good shit, man. It was good shit. I'm like, you said nothing right now.
No, me and these guys, we
But
actually had a
ayahu-
conversation.
you know what I had discussions with people.
Weed
before.
is better though.
Ayahuasca, but I would like to do it
I've never done that.
in Brazil with a shaman or
Yeah.
somebody who knows how to make. I think there's a.
Where did you do
Angeles-
ayahuasca?
No, I didn't do it. I said I would like to go
Me too.
there or Costa Rica, but
Peru.
There was an official guy in L.A. Maybe 2 people that were official shamans that they had federal exempt that they can make.
They can do
ayahuasca
it, and they can
'cause
be,
it was the religion. So there was a place like that. I know a couple people that were gonna go, and I was gonna go, and I was like, I can't do it. I got a little freaked out because it says it could really open your mind, and you vomit a lot, and a lot of things come up. So I don't know if there was some demons I didn't want to face yet.
Yeah. For me, cocaine just doesn't do anything for me. Weed does so much for me, bro.
I'll go in spurts with that. Yeah, sometimes I'll do it, sometimes I won't.
Yeah.
But
Well, bro, we've been at hour 14 minutes.
okay.
You wanna?
It's up to you, man. You can ask me anything you want. Like I said, I got time. What time? What time is it right now?
Right now it's 5 o'clock.
Okay, well I got time. I want to kill traffic.
You want to talk a little more?
It's up to you, man. We can go or we can end it. If you have anything you gotta ask me, go ahead and ask.
You asked me something, bro.
Nothing's off limit.
Bro, I've not been sleeping good, bro.
You're gonna end up having a breakdown.
What do you mean?
You're gonna end up having a mental or emotional breakdown.
Nah.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you're not sleeping good
Nah.
and you're running at full speed with everything coming at you,
I'm sleeping good most nights, but like this week was kind of stressful because I was headlining Mark Ridley's. Ron White bumped me, but then it turned out to be good because I ended up got to work with Ron White. Picked up some of his audience, which was really nice.
Tater salad.
Thank you. Tater salad.
Salad.
He is so funny. And you know, first time headlining Mark Ridley's. Had a whole bunch on my plate. My rental properties got an eviction. You know,
you told me about that.
Another court date, and then a city of Detroit just fucking playing games with my fucking money, not evicting these people like they need to, and just so much, bro.
Why'd they get evicted?
Huh?
Why'd they get evicted?
What do you mean?
Why did they get evicted?
They
Why are you
haven't
trying-
gotten evicted.
Why are you trying to evict them?
Because they're not paying.
Oh.
A lot of these people during this pandemic, when they did that eviction freeze, a lot of people took advantage of that shit.
They could squat here in Michigan.
Yeah, all
Because I know in LA they used to be able to squat.
bro. All liberal-run cities are not good for landlords. End of discussion. That's why most people who invest in Republican states.
I didn't know you could squat in Michigan though. I thought it was only certain states like California.
No,
Like
listen.
up in all through California, like
There's
dippy
like an
area.
Indian investor.
Like, bro, this isn't your land; it's everyone's land.
There's an Indian investor who's like, I forget his name, but he's like a kind of like a popular investor who's giving this seminar. And so one of his people asked him, is like, why do you invest in Republican states? And he said in his Indian accent, he's like, ma'am, I will tell you, I am a liberal Democrat, but I do not invest in liberal Democrat-run states or cities.
But my money is Republican.
For sure. And you want to know why? When I was in Texas, bro, I was doing shows in Austin, and I was thinking maybe I should move to Austin, maybe. Right. So I got an agent, started looking for homes. I told him about this nightmare home that I have, okay? Got this one lady in my house, okay? We got her in there. She stopped paying, okay? We took her to court 3 times. All times we took her to court, the judge gave her a chance. Took her to court the second time, still not paying. Judge gave her more time. Every time I take her to court, it cost me $300. Then I had to take her to court again. Now she's up to, at this time, she was already owing me like maybe $8,000 in rent. Hold on a second.
As soon as she moved in, she didn't pay? Or she paid for a little while?
She paid for a little while, and then she stopped paying. Okay?
Oh, okay. I thought she just moved in like, fuck it.
No. So then she stopped paying, okay? Long story short. Finally, we take her to court the 3rd time, bro. This is 6-7 months of her not paying rent. Finally, the judge is like, you need to get out by the end of the month. Before the end of the month, COVID. Freeze on evictions. That bitch is still there. She owes me.
Lucky motherfucker.
She owes me, hear me out, $25,000 in rent.
Fuck.
She put $25,000 worth of damage on the house. I can't get her out there. She's just destroying the fucking home.
Like purposely doing whack type shit?
Dude.
Or just fucking it up.
Let's put this into perspective, okay? When I came to Detroit to talk to her, to see what the hell was going on, I asked her, is anything wrong with the house? Oh, for 5 months, the roof has been leaking. Why didn't you call it? I was scared if I called it, you guys would throw me out the house. Okay, what else was going on?
Just put your head in the sand?
For 6 months, every time she flushed the toilet, it would back up in the basement. So while I went there, the entire basement that was a finished basement is now one big giant toilet.
God damn.
Keep chewing into the microphone like
I'm
that,
sorry,
bro.
I'm sorry.
Keep chewing it. If you're going to do it, pull the microphone away from you.
I'm sorry. You're talking about shit.
Just take the microphone away from you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Why? That's why you can't do podcasts with fucking 2 Arabs. Let me ask you a question. Put the fucking mic. The mic.
I'm saying if you're gonna
Go ahead, you were talking
if you're
about
gonna
your shit
eat and I'm
covered-
talking, just don't be like.
I don't know why the fuck. That's why I hate doing fucking podcasts, especially with Arabs. Go ahead, man.
So yeah, so that's the type of fucking nightmare that we have.
Go ahead.
That's the type of nightmare government that we have to deal with here. Then I go to Texas and I told the real estate agent the nightmare that I was going through with this home.
Right.
You know what they said to me? The guy was like, "Oh, hey man, I'll tell you what. You might as well just move your money here." And I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Oh, you have no idea how it works here, do you?" He's like, "This is how it works in Texas. If your tenant doesn't pay you in 5 days,
You got a right to shoot him in the face.
you get to change all the locks on the home."
Yeah, that's what they used. That's what I thought you could do.
No, you can't do that here. No, you can't do that
You
here.
used to be able to.
Nope,
do
you can't even approach the house, bro.
that. Wow.
So hold on a second.
Shit has
It's
changed.
so fucked up. You can change all the locks on the home, okay? Forces a conversation with them. In 10 days, if they don't pay you, they go to court. In day 20, they get an eviction notice. On day 30, the government yanks them the fuck out if they don't get out of there.
Damn.
So now I'm really starting to think about moving my money out of Michigan. Out of Detroit. I love Detroit. Right now, I'm doing really good because the majority of my tenants that I have in Detroit are paying and they're treating the properties really well. I have these two, 3 tenants that are giving me a fucking headache, and when I look at that, I'm like, wow. It made me realize how fucked up the liberal governments. Liberal governments do not give a fuck about business. As a matter of fact, liberals look at anybody who's a businessman as evil instantly.
All right, listen. I don't want to be tied into this fucking Proud Boy shit. Okay, I just want you to know. Let's not get crazy.
Proud Boys, bitch.
I tell you what, it's this goddamn minority.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you what, man. One thing that's really bad for business,
Damn Arabs are hooting and fucking hollering.
Arabs and liberals. Them
I just-
Arabs will fuck up. They come into our country, they
saw
don't
that
wear
look.
deodorant, and then they make this food that tastes so damn good that it seeps out of their pores. So even if you like spray deodorant on them, it still smells like shawarma. What do you call that? Shawarma?
Charm.
Goddamn Uber drivers, the fuck out of here. I can't wait till we have
So are you
self-driving cars. I don't need to be getting a car with no Pakistani.
Are you gonna go to Austin? You gonna move to Austin, or are you trying to get stuff in Austin? Like
Well, when I went to Austin and I saw it, Mike, I realized like that
it's turning into LA. I heard.
well, it's like it's blowing up in terms of like the comedy, and Joe Rogan is like building it up or whatever.
Mostly comedy
And when
stuff.
I went there, I liked it because it's a nice place to network. There's no hierarchy, so Ron White and me are kind of just people there. You know, me and Ron White at the Comedy Store in LA. Now I was like, "Ooh, he's Ron White. I'm fucking whatever." So I like
That's in your head, though, man.
No, but it's not. And in Austin, Texas, you are just a piece of shit. Everyone's a piece of shit. Everyone's just whatever you are. Nobody gives a shit what you are. Yeah. People just want to know that you're a nice person. That's what they put stock in. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of clubs are blowing up in that area. A lot of people are moving into that area. And then not only that, I looked at it. I'm in the market to buy a home. Buying a home is out there a little bit cheaper. People are moving there, so if you buy a home, it's going to increase in price. Not only that, you're in close vicinity to Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Oklahoma. You're in the central of America. Plane tickets from Detroit are cheaper than from LA, so it's like now you're centralized. So if you wanted to do road work, the only problem with Austin is I enjoy doing comedy there, with the exception of they are so easily offended. In that town, they're super liberal.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed from when I did my jokes there, bro, I noticed one thing.
Well,
in Austin, the black people have white guilt. That's how fucking crazy it is. I swear to God.
Black people have white guilt?
In Austin.
How does that happen?
You do a joke in like a room in Austin, even the black people do this. They're like,
look around and make sure.
Can we laugh at that? Is that cool?
Yeah.
It's weird.
But was it that, or was it you were getting the weird vibe because of your look, you think?
What?
I'll be honest. Do you think you were getting that vibe because of your look?
No, it's because of my jokes.
Because of the jokes.
The jokes were too, so I noticed out of all my jokes, if I did, and a lot of comics there would say the same thing. Mm-hmm. If you do self-deprecating jokes,
yeah.
ha, yes, safe
Don't
to
make
laugh.
fun of me, though.
Safe to laugh at, right?
Yeah.
Shit on white people. That's right. Fuck white people. Let me do the joke about women and eyebrows. They'll be like, oh, you can't say that about women. That's fucked up. Then they literally will. They'll do this. They'll do this to the audience. They'll just be like, all of them.
Oh, right now I feel
sit there and they won't laugh at that joke.
I feel sorry for white cis males.
Yeah, me too.
They got the worst of it right now.
Yeah. My closer is about how everything is fucked up for white
pendulum
people.
has swung. That's a problem with humanity. Humans. The pendulum swings so fucking far. Like the oppressor becomes the oppressed, and vice versa.
It never pauses.
It never
pauses, bro.
And it never. There's no equalizer there to where everybody's like, hey, we're just fucking, let's laugh. I miss the days with comedy where, because I would do like fucking all black rooms, I would do Latino rooms, I would do the other main comedy clubs where it was like a cross pollination to where you can make fun of each group.
Cross pollination, bro. What the fuck you talking about? Some
like,
racist shit.
Like a bunch of different cultures
Eugenics
together, but yeah, and you can make fun of them, and they wouldn't. Everybody would just be open and laughing, and you find the commonalities between each other. And like, oh, you guys do that too. We're stupid too. We do this. We do that. But I noticed, like, it's just like, it's this victimhood shit is still going strong. And I thought it was gonna die out.
I thought so too.
I thought it was gonna die out like pre-COVID. I thought it was dying down for a year, a little bit, and then if you noticed. And then I thought I was gonna, and it came back. And
it came back because people didn't have to go to work, and all they were doing was sitting on Facebook getting offended.
No, but I thought, okay, well, when Biden gets in, then we're gonna have the healing is gonna begin, and people are gonna loosen up a little bit. And then the PC people, just social justice warriors, came back even harder. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody was anticipating that.
That's because it's cool now, bro.
It's
cool.
Listen, to each his own, but I'm like, I don't like to stop I can't edit myself.
Me neither.
I'm not going to censor myself.
Me neither.
But I am aware of someone and how to read somebody to where I know what not to say. You can kind of read body language, looks in the eyes when you say something. There's a little, like,
Listen.
when they give that look, like,
I know.
I don't like where this conversation's going.
But
you stop.
I used to be like that. Now listen, here's the thing.
You have to respect.
Before this cancellation shit came up, I was very courteous with the audience, right? I would listen to the audience, and I could tell that I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this joke. I'm not gonna do that joke because I could tell it's not gonna work in this room. No. Now, bro, I am on a level of not giving a fuck because to me, I want to know what kind of audience I'm dealing with. And I swear to God, I'm at that point right now where I notice an audience is going to be like, I'm not laughing at that joke. You know what I do? Hold on. You know what I do?
You're going to make them.
You know what I do? No, fuck that. I don't give a shit about laughing. I swear to God, I've been doing this often. If I find a room that's like, fuck you, I'm not laughing at that, I abandon all my good material.
You lean into it.
And then I pull out my phone. And I pull out all my new offensive material that hasn't worked yet, and I close out the fucking show that way, and I enjoy watching them fucking lose minutes out of their fucking lives because they're stressing out over a fucking joke.
You know what amazes me too?
It's different. Like I don't give a shit anymore, man.
You know
I mean, I do, but I don't. You know.
You know the funny thing is I'll notice, like if a comic is going off on somebody, they're offended. It's rare they'll get up and walk out. During that, and they could easily just get up and walk out, but something in them becomes embarrassed because they're getting challenged now for speaking up, and the comedian, and then so they're put on the spot. So it really it flips on them, if you notice, and they won't get up. Whereas some people, if they're offended, they just get up and walk the fuck out. They don't say anything. Do you walk a room? That's what it is. But I miss the days of just getting death threats, for jokes, as opposed to like, you're canceled, I'm gonna end your fucking life. Like I've gotten a couple death threats before
on stage,
on Facebook. No, on Facebook.
By Arabs.
By Arabs, actually.
Well, yeah.
Couple Arabs, yeah.
They can't stand that shit.
It
used to be the Arabs. I would do like videos or whatever. I put them on Facebook or whatever, and then it was the Arabs that were like, "Ugh, you are not Muslim. How come you have tattoo? You are Muslim, but you have a tattoo. How are you doing this? No, Meanwhile, I am having sex with men, and this is no problem."
I flipped a couple people like in Messenger, and then they said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't know," and blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, and it would. You can flip them if you talk to them, but I'm like, I didn't waste my time anymore. But I had a couple that were really.
I used to like flipping people. Now I'm done with that. I know
where you're gonna be when you come to Dearborn to do a show. I was doing a show at Live Lounge or something, and yeah, I go, well, show up. I go, I'll be there. Show up. I'll give you a comp ticket. You can show up if you really are serious about it. Like, I don't care. Like, I grew up in Detroit. I'm gonna be scared of you. But yeah, it really.
I do need
is
to go back to
amazing where
caring a little
people's-
bit more because
where
lately I've been like just rebelling against audiences,
Well, no,
bro.
some people, like I said, man, you can't waste your energy. Some people are just disturbed
Oh no,
in the head.
But I'm not wasting my
get that.
energy. I'm telling jokes I want to tell.
Yeah, but when you
And
say,
I'm not letting them dictate that I'm going to change
I
this
know,
shit.
But I know, but you just did that everything. You know what I do? I take out a phone and I fucking get the worst goddamn.
Yeah.
Like, fuck them.
Yeah.
And not everybody's gonna like.
Yeah, bro.
And it's getting harder too to kind of cater to, like now it seems like you have to cater to every single different person in the audience. I'm like it's crazy sometimes.
It
You know
is.
what I mean? But it's not all that way.
But when's the last
It's
time you
not
did
all that
stand up,
way.
Mike? When's the last time you did stand up?
Couple probably 2-3 years, man. I've been like doing writing and screenplays and offered to do a couple movies that got
You don't
pushed
want to
back
do
'cause
stand
of
up
COVID.
anymore?
Yeah, if I get paid, but like I wasn't doing the comedy club stuff. I was doing private shows and flying overseas. Supposed to do some shows in Egypt, but yeah, I'm not doing the things like I'm not doing the comedy club circuit now.
You don't want to do that no more.
No, I was never a road dog. I would do the comedy clubs only in LA. I would do the comedy clubs, and then all the shows I was doing was like theater shows, and then going overseas stuff like that. I was doing the acting.
So you
and the
never were like
stand-up.
trying to do the road work stuff.
No, I was never a road dog. I was doing the acting. I was doing the stand up. I was,
How do you
doing
make
that.
your material better if you're not on the road, man?
I'm just good.
Fuck off.
No, like I said, I would test jokes. I would, start some strong stuff. Like I said, I can't write. I just would do bullet points and kind of, if you watch my
That
stand up.
first time I saw you do stand up, man, when you were talking about your uncle's glitter Corvette.
Yeah. So that's what I do.
Jesus,
I'll
that
tell the
glitter
stories.
Corvette, man.
I'll make observations and all that, but I can't do straight jokes. So what I would do is if I had a thought or a premise or something, I would make sure I don't do the open mic thing because I don't want to test it there because you're not going to really, I got to keep working on open mics. And,
No, the open mics are everything for me, bro.
a lot of people are, and sometimes I feel like if you're gonna, it's got to be sink or swim. You're not gonna know if it's funny unless you're doing 300 or a full comedy club setting or a theater show.
That's not true.
You do. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
So I would do like 2 jokes I know that we're gonna hit up top,
and then you
do
sandwich
some other stuff
the new
and
shit,
sandwich the new shit.
and then end strong.
But I would have the wherewithal. I'm like, okay, I know this is gonna get some kind of laugh, but I would never take a risk of like, I would never ask myself backstage if I thought of it backstage. I'm like, is this funny? Like I did that once in Jordan at the Amman Comedy Festival. It was like me, Russell Peters, Fluffy, just all they had people from all over. And I thought of a joke backstage, and I just said, fuck it. I started with it. It was about the king. You're not supposed to talk about the king, but I did a very complimentary joke.
You told me about this.
Yeah, and everybody laughed. I was like, and the question's like, oh, I can't believe you did this. Ooh, very lucky, very lucky. I go because there was guys it was in King Hussein Theater.
Oh shit.
So there was military M16.
Yeah,
full
oh,
crowd.
shit.
So it was very.
Oh shit.
But and then so the next night, I did that joke and I was like, let me switch it up a little bit. Because I got confident,
Yeah,
'cause,
yeah.
like, that was one of the first times I've ever done like a joke I just thought about backstage.
Yeah.
And started with, I was like, yeah. And then, I got a little full. And then I the second night, I went out and did it. And it didn't hit at all. I was like, and I just kind of, bam, and went to the next thing.
Yeah.
But it didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And I forgot how I switched it. I was comparing the photographer.
Isn't it weird how it is though?
It's very strange.
Some
man.
audiences have a group mindset.
And
Sometimes you'll have an
and-
audience that's like they all think the same, and then the other ones all think the same.
But it may have been, like I said, when you sit and analyze stuff like that as a comic out there, if you're an up and coming comic, it can be any little thing will throw a joke off, and I mean not perceptible to the eyes. It can be a little movement. It can be I was way too cocky the next time because it worked so well the first time. Maybe my cadence was different.
Cadence, the timing. Sometimes the timing and how you hit your
But
punchline.
here's the thing: I did it, everything. That's why I analyzed it when I went back to the hotel. Because even though my set went really good, I was harping on it. I was like, "What the fuck happened?"
Did you figure it out?
Yeah.
What was it?
I figured out I put too much energy into it because I couldn't wait to get it out. Because in my head, I was like, oh, it killed last night. It's going to fucking... I did like the tap, you know, that type of energy. Like, look at this. Yeah. It was that type of energy.
The energy was off.
And it was unperceptible to the eye, but I was like, I know me, and my energy was a little too... I was like a little kid, like, look what I did. Yeah. Look what I did.
That's why the thing is not... It's not
that'll
about...
fuck you up.
It's not about what you say.
But it was like...
A lot of it is also what you say and how you say it.
But thank God I was back in my skin because it can literally sometimes, if that one joke that you know is going to hit in the beginning doesn't hit, it can really get in your head. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not seasoned and you're like up and coming and you're not seasoned, it can really fuck up what could be a great set because you know what you're going to be saying, you know it's going to hit. But that subconsciously you're thinking like, what the fuck? Oh my God, they're going to know. They're looking at me. That voice starts getting, and it's a scary feeling, man.
It is.
But you can't show it.
Even if you don't show it, they can feel it.
One little
they
drop.
Can feel it.
Bink. Like if they see that one little drop, it's like a bunch of hyenas going.
Yeah.
They'll
turn on you.
They won't turn. The black club
turn
black
on you.
Clubs were they're joke to joke at black clubs back in the day. So if they'll laugh joke to joke, so you can kill one joke. If your next joke didn't hit, they won't give you shit. Whereas other audiences, they're like, you know, especially white audiences, they'll sit there and give you a polite, oh, if the joke wasn't really true because the first one was good.
Yeah.
Black dude, I played some hardcore rooms.
Me too, bro.
As soon as you saw a black woman do this shit,
that's it. It's over. It's over.
They shift to their seat and look at you like,
That's it.
And literally, you could say a joke that. So I would train myself and do Latino rooms. I would do black rooms.
Black rooms, I always have to open up with a closer. You have to come in so strong.
Yeah, like chocolate sundaes and all that. But like, there was a place called Mixed Nuts, and that was like Cat Williams was there before he became Cat Williams.
I think I've done the Mixed Nuts show.
They used to call Benet. Yeah, they used to call him. No, it was a place called Mixed Nuts. It was like a bad area, but he was called Cat in the Hat back then. Doug Williams.
Cat Williams was called Cat in the Hat.
That was his name beforehand. Cat in the Hat.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and he wasn't doing the pimp stuff. So yeah, that one was like literally I was just starting out, so I didn't have the wherewithal to, you know, I didn't have the chops to like give it back to an audience member if they're trying to heckle me. And it was a big stage stand up, and there was like a big theater, so it was like almost like theater but club setting. It was a really strange setup. Steve Lally, that's where I met Steve Lally. We were like the only two non-black people doing the circuit. So I remember
Steve Lally ended up writing for Cat Williams.
Yeah, he ended up writing for Cat Williams. I'll tell you a story off the air about me and Cat Williams. But so I remember it was like one of the first times, and I did this joke. I used to do an impression of, remember that singer Anita Baker?
Yeah.
And I'll do Al Green. I said love and happiness. I would do like some impression, but I had a cold coming out, so I couldn't do. I was doing Anita Baker, and I was saying something about, you know, they're always crying or whatever, and she's like, "Motherfucker, you ain't even funny." I just heard this one voice, and people were laughing though, but for some reason she did not like me. She just, "You don't even sound like him."
Damn.
It just periodically she was just saying some shit, and she goes, "Y'all ass need to go. Bye." And she got up to the front of the stage, literally stood up and I'm like way up here. She's like, "You need to go. Bye. Nah. Bye." And I was like, and all I could think of was like, I was like, "What? Why are you doing this?" That was my comeback. I was just so shocked.
Is that what you said?
I just go, "Well, why are you doing this?"
How did people react to that?
And it was just so weird that I was like, and I literally had no comeback. So I just put the microphone back in the stand and I walked off and I don't know if you're familiar with Speedy. He's Jamie Foxx's radio sidekick.
No.
On his Foxhole Radio. But Speedy was hosting, and Tony Roberts. But when I was walking on stage, and mind you, I had only been doing it for like like 2 months stand up.
Oh shit!
So I was doing hardcore rooms, and so he goes when he's walking up to the stage. So it made it even worse because I'm walking out and he's going, and I was like, it was crushing. She wouldn't stop. No, bye. Your ass needs to go. Bye, bye. And I was just like, why? I was freaked the fuck. I couldn't do it. I had nothing to say to her. But rooms like that started making me stronger. Like the family room.
Black rooms make me stronger
Dude, there was a
every
place called
time, bro.
The family room. It was in Watts. And mind you, I didn't really know where, Watts is.
Yeah.
Watts Towers, like fucking baby boy shit.
Yeah.
They go, hey, go to the family room. And I said, okay. Like somebody gave me a thing. I was like, okay. And I got off and Watts Towers. I see the Watts Towers. Because I went to Compton when I first got there. I was like, this shit ain't ghetto. It's got grass and shit.
I know.
This ain't scary.
The ghettos are cute in California.
So you know how I found out I was in the ghetto? Is when I asked for, and I think I even said this as a joke when I got there. Because I couldn't. I go, hey, do you know where the family room is? I think it's called Club 99. He goes, oh, yeah. What you gonna do is you gonna go straight. You're gonna pass up a church, then a liquor store, then the church, then a liquor store, then the church, then the church is kicking. You're gonna make a right. And I was like, what the fuck? And that was his directions. He said, church and church is kicking. You're gonna make a right. And it was hood. But when you get there, it's a disco, and a bunch of black people, and they have like hot wings, and so when you get up on stage and you're doing your shit, you really can't see everybody, but you're literally on the dance floor and there's chairs. And so I'm doing jokes and people are laughing, and then I feel pop in my head. I was like, what the fuck? And then pop. And I was trying to like avoid it. I was like, what the fuck are they throwing? Because it wasn't hurting. And I looked down and there's like balled up dollar bills. So if they like you at this club, they throw money at you.
Oh,
nice. I
nice.
was like, what the fuck is going on? As I used a stripper pole as a microphone stand, I was like, what the fuck's going on? What's happening here? But I didn't know that. And they tell me after the fact, and that's how they pay you.
I bet that killed too when you were like,
yeah. I started doing a stripper pole. I go, what the fuck? Nobody told me this shit. And then they pass a bucket around. So that's how they pay the comedians.
That's nice.
It was like a lot, and a lot of big like black comedians came through there. You know,
I
like
love
one
that.
of those hardcore rooms.
They throw money at you.
Yeah. So I didn't know what the fuck's going on. But then D. Millet, no, it wasn't D. Militant. It was he used to write for Cat. Anyway, I'm not gonna say his name anyways. But he's these two big black women sitting at the table, and they're like, because it was like a chicken wing special.
Yeah.
And it was, and this bitch, he's like right here, and they're sitting right here, and she's sitting there just watching them, going. Blink, and he goes, and he won't. The funny thing is, he's doing this. He goes, yeah. So what? Oh, come on, sister, come on now. So and anyway, and she's like, blink. He's like, all right. So you know, my girl, come tell me, hey, sister, come on now. We all having a good time. It's family, baby. And she's just sitting there going. So it was like those type of rooms. El Coyotes. It was in Whittier.
I think I've done El Coyotes.
It has a bar thing, but you're raised up.
Yeah.
That place, like Felipe Esparza, that's where I met Felipe Esparza, and all the Latino comedians would go there. So that place was hardcore, where if they didn't like you, you'd get a girl will throw a chancla, like her fucking slipper at you.
Shit.
I've seen, I think my boy Zhivago or somebody, or I can't remember who it was. A beer bottle got thrown.
Damn.
Yeah, man, it was some shady places. But those are the places that because like I said, you see
They break you and then they make you better.
Well, you know, the reason why I did it is because I've seen people just do black circuit.
Sit back over here, Mike. You're coming off camera a little bit.
Doing just the black circuit. And then they try to do those jokes. You go to the Laugh Factory. You can't open them. Man, how many of y'all got fucked up credit? I'm like, guess
Get
what?
the fuck out.
Most white people, and they're good. You know, so you can't, and then you get all these, Latino rooms, and they're doing these inside jokes. Like I used to do Refried Fridays, but I would do, the thing is I would make sure I would know some of the culture. Because I knew all these cultures personally beforehand, that I would, who's great at that? Russell Peters. He's good at getting like the Asian thing and stuff that only they would know. Like, oh, how does he know that? So it's like...
He's very good at that.
Yeah, very good. So I would do that with the people, because I grew up around Latinos and black people and other different shades of browns, And so I would do some of my Latino, material, and I go here and I do my hood material, and then I go here and do the black material. I go crossover, and sometimes I would try to test the waters and see, let's see if this will work over here.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn how to, for me, at least, that's how I would learn. And with the Arab stuff, I would do Arab material for Arab organizations. I didn't even know there was an Arab comedy movement until Aaron Cater approached me. And then I did the New York Comedy Festival, and that opened up Dubai, and that got me the whole Middle East thing. But I was like, oh, shit, I could actually talk. So back then, when it was first started, I was one of the first waves to go to the Dubai and all that stuff with these guys, with Cater and those guys. They did Axis of Evil, and I think I was doing some stuff after that. But I started noticing that, I'm going to talk about family stuff.
Scoot over a little bit this way.
Sorry.
Man. Scoot this way.
This way?
No, this way.
This way?
No, like move your ass
I know.
towards the thing.
Okay.
That way. There you go. Perfect.
I feel like I'm doing a nude painting. I'm like this. This is how you want it.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
Make me beautiful. So
hide my nipples.
So what was I saying? Oh, Arab material.
Yeah.
So that's when I started talking about the family stuff, about Arab, family stuff, and and I'm thinking, they're not gonna get this stuff, and then I would test it out, and I wouldn't do it just for Arab people. I would do it for them. They would get it, but I'm like, let's see if it works in the Latino.
But that's the beautiful thing about stand-up is when you figure out that a lot of some of the stuff you do also resonates with other fucking ethnicities.
Here's a perfect example of what every comedian should aspire to. Most comedians, if it's their type of style, Richard Pryor would make people from Beverly Hills see a fucking heroin addict talking to a wino. When he would do those bits on stage, they'd never experienced that. They'd never been to the ghetto and saw that shit. But he brought it to life.
Yeah. He acted it out for them.
He acted out, but he found the humanity in it. He found the little foibles of humanity, and that's what you want to do. Like I would tell some of the Middle Eastern comedians, back in the day, I go, hey, don't just preach to the choir, man. Your job is to let's open it up, and
that's why we have to fucking.
And now it's opening up because you're starting to see that brown people are starting to get pushed to the forefront now in Hollywood, especially.
Yeah,
which is good.
It is good.
Thing. Yeah, it's a good thing.
It is good.
But then again, there's always a downside of it, getting pulled back because hey, too much.
Yeah,
you're getting too much.
That might get there, bro.
Yeah, it's
right now. It's just harder for white people.
I mean? Everything's cyclical.
Like you said, the pendulum is never gonna fucking stop, bro.
Nah.
Never in my fucking life. After 9/11, when we were like the enemy on the news and everything, I couldn't help but I swear to God, there was a part of me that was thinking, and then I was like, oh, okay. So obviously, Arabs are going to be the last ones that we're going to be racist towards. And then after this, the aliens come and then we can unite against them motherfuckers. Never in my life did I think they would bring it full circle around to white people. So now I'm like, never in my life did I think they were going to do that. So in my whole mind, I'm like, the pendulum is about to stop. It's about to stop. And these motherfuckers like, nah, we're going to bring it right back to white people. Let's go start it back in the fucking beginning now. Now it's time to hate white people.
Well, it was not just white people. I think it happened 10 years earlier because they were predicting that by 2032, white people are going to be the minority.
We're going to outfuck
them. Latinos are going to be.
We're outfucking them.
Yeah. But I think the gender thing too so it was like the white cis males that are getting shitted on.
But that's what I'm saying.
Not just white people.
But my point is that first it started with white people. Now we went to white cis males, and this.
There's too many fucking labels, man. We should all just be. I split up people in two groups: assholes and non-assholes. That's it.
Amen.
That's it.
And pussies.
Just assholes and non-assholes.
Assholes, dicks, and pussies. Assholes, dicks, and pussies.
Wow. You can think about that. But anyway, that's my thoughts.
I need to get high, bro.
Feel free. Not on camera. I don't want to be part of this.
I'm doing it on camera.
No, man, don't do that.
I always do it on camera.
All right, can I smoke a cigarette then?
No.
Okay.
You can't smoke a cigarette.
I know.
In here.
I don't want to. Just fucking with
you. Hey,
Hey, what?
Why?
Why what?
Why don't you want to do drugs on camera?
Because I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs, man.
Weed is not drugs, bro.
Take a big toke of Jesus instead.
You got my lighter.
Yes, I do.
I don't do drugs.
You're smoking right in your mom's.
What time you trying to take off, bro?
5:30. That's fine. We can go a little bit longer if it's not too boring for people. I mean, if anybody do any comedians or actors listen to your podcast that they maybe need some advice you want to ask me a question or?
In terms of like stand-up?
I mean, acting, stand-up, writing.
Let's talk about acting. What do you
writing.
What do you want to talk about, bro? You want to talk about writing?
No. I'm saying, does anybody or do you have a question about craft stuff? I mean, I'll be more than like some insider information I've gotten over the years.
Who was
from some big
Who
big
was
people in the industry.
who was the most disappointing celebrity that you met and why?
Why does it got to be disappointing?
Because we always talk about the stuff that's like great. Let's talk about the stuff that's like, man, you know how they say you don't want to meet your heroes. Sometimes they're like, you don't want to meet your heroes.
I mean, they were like I said. I didn't listen. The bigger they are, the nicer they are. You want to know why? Because they're at a place. They understand how hard it was to get there. It's the ones that are on their way down or the ones that are mid-level that are usually the assholes. But I've pissed off a couple of actors, like big actors.
In what way?
Unknowingly.
In what way?
Well, Sam Jackson.
Samuel Jackson?
Yeah, it was
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I pissed him off.
Snakes on a Plane, Jackson.
It was Sam Jackson, the movie he did right after Pulp Fiction. It was called 187.
I remember 187.
Okay, he played a teacher in the
Yeah.
My friend Lobo and my friend Clifton Gonzalez, but his name is Clifton Powell now. Who, by the way, to Sam's credit, his father was an actor, and when Sam Jackson found out that Clifton's dad died during production, he paid for his dad's funeral.
Oh, shit.
Nice guy. Yeah, very nice. So anyway,
So how did you piss him off?
so we get invited, me and my friend Bartle, we get invited to the Sony lot by Clifton and Lobo. Like, hey man, we're doing a screening of this movie with Sam Jackson. It's just going to be some executives and us three. And so it's going to be like maybe a handful of people in this theater, like a screening theater. So I was like, oh, cool, man, I'll go. This is years ago. So we watched it, and we're walking out, and Sam Jackson's sitting here, Clifton's here, and Lobo's right here. So my friend Bartle walks. I think Maria was with us, a friend of ours, Maria. She walks and goes to Sam Jackson first because it's protocol. You know, he's like the star. You know, so that was a wonderful, performance, Mr. Jackson. And she goes, Clifton, nice, and then Lobo, nice, and then Bartle, same thing. Oh, Mr. Jackson, it was a great job. Loved your work in it. And then Clifton, and then Lobo. And I come in, Mr. Funny guy. I walk in and
Backwards.
I go down this way, but I go, hey, man, Lobo, you rocked it, man. I go, Clifton, man, that was a shit. I go, you weren't so bad yourself. And you could feel the whole fucking room going, like, because I was like, and he did this look. He was like, I go,
You kind of look like him right now when you did
yeah,
that.
he did that look. And I go, and fucking, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So then, flash forward.
But fuck him for not being able to take a joke.
Flash forward to 2 weeks later. Me and my friend Bardo, we get invited to, I think it was iPhone had just come out and they were doing some kind of release, like an industry thing. So, and this is before Gabrielle Union had blown up. And my friend Tamala Johnson, who was like, she was in the Chris Rock movie Head of State, and so I knew her, and so we're dancing together, blah blah blah. We're having a good time. We're drinking. There's an open bar, and I see Sam Jackson walk in with this fucking tango. Turn to the back.
Same day.
No, 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later.
So, boom, and he's walking. Hey, what's up? Hey, and in my head already, I'm thinking, I go, fuck him. I was like mad, even though I offended him. So, night goes on. I'm at the bar. He's there, and somebody's with him. I can't remember who the fuck it was. It was somebody like it was like an actress or some shit. I can't remember her name at the time. She was kind of big. So they're talking. He's back, and then I'm thinking, and he some reason he turns to me, and I'm all feeling good. I go, hey guys, let me buy you guys drinks. It's on me. And it was an open fucking bar. So he goes, like, hey, that's funny. And then I put the drink down and da-da-da. And I go, hey, man, I don't know. And he's sitting there, and we're saying something to each other. I can't remember. He's like, yeah. I go, yeah, I met you a couple weeks ago. He goes, that look immediately comes on his face, and he fucking turns around. I was like, Yeah, yeah. I've had a couple of those moments where I'm like, I don't know what it was about me back then.
Why? Like, what the fuck, man?
It was just back. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something about myself. Back then, I had disdain for like Hollywood. For some reason, I liked doing what I did, and this is early on. This is like maybe the third year I was there. I got there in 96, 95, 96. And so I was like second, third year there. Like I told myself, if I don't book something within a year, I'm moving back. And thank God I got Boy Meets World the year before. I said, okay, I'm supposed to be here. And it was like, but for some reason when I go to parties, I was like, these fake motherfuckers. I had this grudge on my shoulder, this chip on my shoulder. And I don't know what that was about at the time. I know it now, but at the time I was like, so I would go to these parties and not be obnoxious, but I would make jokes about certain, if we were in a circle and there was like some, known people there, I'd make jokes at their expense to where they would laugh too. Everybody else would laugh, but then I'd go a little bit too long and they'd be like, and you see this look on their face. All right, I'm going to go to the bar. And it was just in me. So I realized later, I was like, what the fuck was that about? Like, why the fuck was I doing that?
You think it was an insecurity?
It was definitely an insecurity. It was definitely I was thinking at the time, fuck you. I wasn't aware of their struggles, that I was like, who the fuck handed you this shit? You got fucking made and you had this life. And I really had that, because I came from the hood, came from nothing. I bullshitted my way into the business when I went to LA. Never had any training. So I really felt, would say some inappropriate shit.
You was hood.
Kind of, but I was charming.
You had no tact.
Like,
almost.
you remember Apollonia from Purple Rain?
Yeah.
Minnetonka? Okay. She's dead now, God rest her soul. But she was great in Purple Rain. Like, oh, she's so beautiful. So she was a born-again Christian at this time. I don't know what Prince does to these women after he's with them. Some of them turn Christian. So I was at this Latino event, the NALIP Awards. I was co-hosting it. Don't ask me why. National Latino Awards. So Rick Najera, who's written for like Living Color and really great writer, he was there and she was with him, and there was a group of people and I was by the buffet and I had some nachos and then I heard him. I go, yeah, Mike, this is Apollonia. And I go, and I turn and I go, oh my God, you pulled me through puberty. And that came out of my mouth. I was like, oh. And when she goes, oh, and she turned, the bitch had a Bible in her hand. That's how much of a reborn Christian she was. I had a Bible. So it was like, I was doing stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, you put me through puberty. And it just came out. So it was, I was never mean. Like,
damn.
It was, people were laughing and like, oh, he's a fun guy. But I would catch myself. This girl I was dating at the time, bro, she goes, you kind of say some mean things. Like, I go, really? She goes, yeah, that was kind of mean. Like, I was just joking and everybody's laughing kind of at their expense. And I really had to look at myself, because I think that's when you become a better actor, performer. When you stop bullshitting yourself.
Yeah.
And start really, you got to do
internalizing and start figuring out
that's what I'm saying.
What are your flaws?
Whether you want to do therapy or not. Some people aren't against it. Some people aren't, or psychedelics, whatever you got to do. But you really got to, because I think people could smell bullshit. If that's not your forte on stage, if you're not that type of real comedian, then you don't have to. But for a performer, I had blind spots, man. And I watched my old performances like on TV shows and stuff like that. I was like, I don't say I could have been better, because I don't watch a lot of my stuff. But if I catch something like on the rerun, I'm like, oh, I know I can remember the time of life I was going through at that performance. I remember that time. Like, oh, I was going through this and that during that time. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and it was a really...
Like, you could see the blind spots that you were performing with almost.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, that was a horrible performance. No, but I would look back and I'd be like, oh, man, when I did that, I was really in a bad... I wasn't in a good place there. Or, hey, my thought processes was different. I had a different worldview. And but early on, man, I was just really, like, coming into those Hollywood parties and just...
fucking it up.
fucking it up. Like I was fun to be around.
But hold on.
But I was
the
kind of
Samuel L. Jackson
I was
thing,
kind of a dick.
So the Samuel L. Jackson thing is a
Yeah.
little. I think he took it too far. Don't you think?
No, he was justified,
Really?
dude. The way I did it funny. But like I said, it's a protocol thing. You invited to a very secret screening before the public screens it. The some of the cues weren't. It was like boop boop. Those beeps were happening. The music. It wasn't a finished thing. Only executives get to see it. But for some reason, because Clifton, we found ourselves in that screening room on the lot. That's the lot. There's only like 20, 30 chairs.
So what type of advice can you give
I
somebody
went-
from what you learned from this whole thing?
Is-
Young actor or anybody. And then real quick, some people are asking questions, and the questions is,
Yeah.
did he finish his pickles?
Yeah, I finished
Another one
pickles,
is, Mikey, you finally finished eating their nasty ass pickles? See, the
Yeah.
people really want to know about the fucking pickles, bro.
Yeah.
Because
I have one left. I have one left. Here, I'm gonna eat it for you guys.
this
on camera.
whole, when people listen to audio of this,
Done.
they don't know what's going on. They're gonna be listening to this, but we got a soundtrack of
No
pussy eating
no
in the
more
background.
Pickles.
A pussy eating soundtrack.
No more pickles.
Because we want people to get horny when they're listening
No,
to this
I'm
shit.
like, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Our gay listeners went down. They don't like that sound.
Of course.
Okay, so what kind of advice?
You mean based off of my experience, like what to do, or what would I say mentally?
No, what I'm saying is what type of advice you can give us, what to do in that situation. So the advice I'm getting from you is, don't crack jokes because you don't know if it might work or not in those rooms.
You mean and when you go to those gatherings, or you mean on stage?
Gatherings.
They're starting to be more closed off from what I was noticing before I moved back, and I wasn't really going to too many of those parties. They're kind of smaller gatherings now. They're not as big as they once were, to where it was like open. But if you do get invited, don't go there trying to network. A lot of people would go to these parties to try to network, and that tends to turn people off, because a lot of questions. Oh, what do you do? Oh, hey. Oh, wow. You literally go in there and have a good time. So when you do that, try not to offend people, by the way. Don't do like I did early on, cracking jokes at people's expenses too long. If you're having a good time and just being you, people will gravitate towards you, and they're gonna ask. They're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna go over this." It just happens. It's a natural.
That's
attraction.
how I look at it too.
Yeah, they come towards you.
Yeah, don't do that.
You went to a couple of those parties. They weren't huge parties like the big A-lister shit, but the ones that you came with me to, you were being yourself. I didn't notice you trying to.
No.
Yeah,
because I knew that's not the place to do it in.
Exactly. So
you just knew that's a place to have fun.
Yeah, you instinctively knew that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you got connections out of that or not, but the bottom line is you had the right, attitude, and people were kind of gravitating towards me and Yada and you. If you noticed that, they were coming to us. So it's just like, and I think that's why I was friends with a lot of kind of bigger people, because I wouldn't treat them like I wasn't impressed. The people I would get impressed with are the people I grew up on. Like I worked for Henry Winkler, the guy that played Fonzie, and I was like, oh my God, I freaked out. Like, people like that. But yeah, I would just say, be yourself, man. Don't.
No, being yourself. You were being yourself, and you were fucking it up.
Early on, that's what I was gonna follow up to say. I was not myself back then. I was putting up a front.
You were overcompensating.
I was overcompensating because I really had this you're right. I had insecurity because I came from the hood, and maybe I don't deserve. How the fuck did I get on this TV show? How the fuck did I do that? How did I, oh my God, I did. And in the back of my head, I didn't realize I was saying that to myself. I was like, what the fuck? Like I couldn't believe that was happening. No. And I didn't want to,
You didn't want to be found out.
I didn't want that. Not really that much.
No, what I mean is like this insecure, like I don't belong here, and then it's almost
resented, like I resented some certain people you would come across at that time. I would feel like they didn't deserve that, and you
were kind of like the jealous type.
But I wasn't. Yeah, I think a little bit. maybe. But all I know is like for some reason I would zone in on somebody. No, it wasn't jealous. I would look at them like if I thought somebody thought too highly of themselves, I was the guy that's going to bring them back to.
Yeah.
So it wasn't unprovoked.
It's the comedian in you.
It wasn't exactly.
It's like I got to roast you
It
now.
wasn't the
You think you're the shit?
Exactly.
We got to roast you.
It wasn't unprovoked. It was these people that they're we say in the Arab world, Shaif Halik.
Yeah, Shaif Halik,
Like they're
yeah.
looking at themselves,
Yeah, yeah.
smelling their own piss.
Yeah.
So I would do
They
it
love the smell of their own
jokingly.
farts.
Yeah, I would do it jokingly in a group. I just would start joking and then boom, and then pew, pew, and shoot some shit their way to bring them down. So that's what I meant to say. It wasn't me like I just would pick on a weak person.
So do you think that what you said to him wasn't the thing that made him turned off, or Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh.
So because I'm just trying to break down what
It was
hold on.
disrespectful.
It was disrespectful more in that it wasn't genuine, right?
No, it was disrespectful because I broke the protocol.
What's the protocol?
protocol was he's here, Clifton's here, Lobo's here.
Okay, so what?
The aisle's here.
They were just standing?
No, they were sitting
Okay.
in the theater. We were walking out, and they were sitting in these 3 chairs. The movie was rolling.
And they're sitting in the very front chairs or something?
like in the back. It was like
Okay.
it was like 20 of us in the theater.
Okay.
And the executives were sitting over here. We're sitting.
But they specifically
we
had
were
the actors
only-
sitting in one area, is what it was?
No,
These are
it
the
was
main
just-
characters?
No, if you go to these theaters inside the studios, the screening theaters,
Yeah.
just for executives,
Yeah.
there's maybe like 20 or 30 chairs.
Okay.
It's just to watch the dailies or whatever.
Got it.
So when me and Bardo and Maria were walking out down the aisle, they were sitting down still. I guess they were going to stick around because they had to talk to the executives or
Sure,
whatever, get
sure.
notes or whatever.
So the protocol
he's
is you
here.
have to talk to Samuel L. Jackson first?
No, that's just what they did. And it was like, because he was the star and whatever of the movie. So they just by whatever they thought was,
Kiss assism.
they weren't really kissing ass.
Just
It-
being like, oh, Mr. Samuel Jackson,
Yeah,
don't want to
but-
make you mad.
but the bottom line is he
you
took
get
it
my
like,
handshake first before I contaminate it with these ugly motherfucking hands.
Say hi again. I dare you, motherfucker. So I guess it was just the fact that they took it upon themselves to say, hey, Sam, great work. And then, hey, Clifton, Lobo, you rocked it. Back, he did the same thing, Bartle. And then what I did was
You
like,
broke that.
what I did 2 things that I dissed him. Because I think he was kind of reaching for me, too. So I think that may have pissed him off because he thought I was going to do what they did and go to him first. So I go, hey, Lobo, you kicked ass. Clifton, you rocked it, man. And then when I got to him, I go, you weren't so bad yourself. And then that's when he goes,
That's still a little petty.
you know what? I
That's
get
a
it now.
little petty.
I thought so, too.
That's a little petty.
That's when I walked out. I go, man, fuck you. Like to myself.
For real, fuck him for
But
that.
then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, it was kind of like, who the fuck am I?
Sure, who
listen,
are you?
I got
But I
invited.
don't know.
Listen, we weren't even supposed to be in there.
I guess
By all
that
the
basically
cops.
when you're in those rooms,
We're
you
not
just
supposed to be
got to
in
be
that.
on your best
No, I mean,
kiss-assing behavior.
Like no civilians should have been in that screening room because it was not open to the public yet. I mean, the movie was not coming out.
So the best thing would be to
So
be to
we
what?
were-
Well,
we
what
should
would
have
be
been honored.
if you could redo it again? What would you do?
I would have gone there and be like, hey, I loved your work at Pulp Fiction. I loved you because there was a couple of obscure movies he did prior. I would have even said I loved you in the Public Enemy video. 911 is a joke. You know he plays.
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
911 is a
He's
joke.
the
I
one
would have.
that's-
I would have gone through his whole catalog.
Yeah.
That's what they love to do. I'll research people before I know I'm going to work with
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And I'll mention some of their obscure work. Oh, thanks, man. And they appreciate it because that's their work. So you should, if you're working as an actor, that's part of your job. Do research about the people you're going to be working with.
Sure.
You know, and they appreciate it.
I did that with Ron White. I listened to a lot of his shit again.
Yeah.
Before
And then-
working with 'em.
And they really do. It really opens something up.
It does.
And everybody, and like I said, if you run into these
Like
people,
Mark Maron, I got into a real good conversation with Mark
And-
Maron at the Comedy Store because I listened to his Hunter Biden episode. And when I talked to him about
Yeah.
that, he lit up. He was like, "Oh man, we started
and you know,
getting into it."
You know what I told younger actors, and this advice was given to me. Peter Boyle, great fucking. He's passed away now. He played the dad on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah,
He's been in some Taxi.
He's so
been in
funny,
fucking
bro.
Frankenstein, all that. So
he's so much.
every time I would do a show or movie, I'd rarely stay in my trailer because you're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars of acting school
In front of you.
film school, because these people, stay on set. Talk to everybody, man. And a lot of these
I
big
do
actors,
that.
people are like, oh no, I don't want to talk. No, they like talking to you. I've gotten advice from some really great actors, man. And some of them had reputations I was told like, oh, they're like this and they're like that. And then I go on set, I'm like, they were fine, man. It was great. And then they give you like, hey, somebody showed me how, hey, when you're doing this, stand the lights right here. So technical stuff or like acting stuff. They tell you stories from movies they were on, iconic movies.
Or you get to see shit
And
that
they're
you
like,
fucking...
oh, you know what Robert De Niro did in this scene? I'm like, oh, fuck, that's how he did that? Yep. And that's this and that. And so, yeah, if you're on set and you book something, now the COVID restriction shit, I don't know how it's going to be now.
When I
but
was on...
if you get a chance, ask people.
when
man.
I was on Grace and Frankie, I was in a scene...
Oh, I love Jane Fonda. She's so sexy.
I was in a scene with Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, RuPaul, Nicole Richie,
Oh, wow.
and then the rest of the other cast. So they didn't have a trailer for us. We had chairs to sit on that they set up in. So the house was a studio.
Yeah.
So we weren't filming in the kitchen part of the house.
you'd
So
be
that's
in the
where we
house.
were sitting in
Yeah.
between takes, and it was crazy because I would like sit here.
Yeah, that's normal.
Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, RuPaul, Nicole Richie. They're just all sitting right here.
Yeah.
The
And you
fucking
can't be like, oh, you got to be professional.
oh, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
The thing is that watching Lily Tomlin
She's genius.
bitch out Jane Fonda next to me, telling
that must have
her,
been great.
telling her,
That must have been great.
telling her that they need to run lines because Jane is dropping the ball.
Being lazy.
Now, mind you,
Nice.
the hairstylist of Jane Fonda, me and him started like talking, and he was like,
They have all the gossip.
oh, he
Hairstylist?
came to me like after we started talking. I think he sat down. He was like, I kind of wish you were here on another night when Jane Fonda wasn't in the mood. He like told me he's like I just want to let you know she ain't like this. Just she's in the mood today.
Oh, I see.
So basically, you can tell she didn't talk to anybody on set.
So she was in a mood.
All she was doing that day was calling her assistant to handle whatever other business she's doing, telling the guy to bring her dailies from yesterday she wants to watch. So she was like multitasking business stuff
Yeah.
and not really paying attention. And Lily came after like maybe 2 hours on set. You're shitting the bed. What are you doing?
Nice.
It was just like
She's
their
like, you know,
character.
Lily Tomlin's from here,
We
right?
talked about that. So
Yeah,
me and her ended up
Wayne
talking
State.
about that.
Like Wayne State.
So she bitched her out, made her run lines, and you can see Jane was just like this. Jane was like going through her phone. It's like, okay, I guess we'll run lines. And
Nice.
she's like really sassy about it. Lily made her run lines, bro. I felt like I was watching two college students. Like, that's just how professional these fucking people are, man.
That's why they're fucking great.
That's why they're great. And then guess what happened? She hit her mark, and Lily was like a little girl, like, yes.
Yeah.
She's like, that next take, you better give me that. Do you understand that?
Wow.
She goes, you're giving me nothing. Like, Lily was, you're not giving me anything, and I can't do anything in the scene. Like, she's so pissed off about it.
Yeah.
They're in their 70s, bro.
Dude, they're
Do you know how much I learned from that?
yeah, exactly.
Watching that?
Never phone it in.
Fuck,
Never
bro.
phone it in. That's what I'm saying. They're the greats. I mean, certain greats now you can tell they're phoning it in just for the paychecks, but people like Jane, both of those. Lily Tomlin is a certified genius.
She's
certified
amazing.
genius.
She was such a sweetheart, bro.
Certified genius.
I talked to her. We talked about Detroit.
Yeah, it's very hard to find
You know what she told me?
geniuses now.
She told me the story about Detroit. She was like,
Wayne State.
she was doing a show. She was like 15 when the riots happened or something.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing a show in Missouri. She was already on the road, you
Yeah.
know, doing a show in Missouri, some stage show,
Yeah.
some stage play. Then she finds out the news, the riots happened in Detroit. So she keeps calling back home and no one's picking up the phone. She's worried.
Wow.
Then finally, her brother picks up the phone. It just turns out that when she called, her brother came back to the house because they forgot something.
Wow.
Right? He hears the phone ring. He picks up the phone. He goes, Lily, don't come back to the house. It's not going to be here anymore.
So she was living on Grand Boulevard, right? West Grand Boulevard.
I think she said she was on West Grand Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she said, oh, and then we moved to Highland Park. And I was like, Highland Park's a shithole right now. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Things have changed, man. So when I moved back, I was like, God damn, some of these areas ain't the same areas.
No, bro. The Cass,
Like we used to,
the Cass
we used-
corridor is
we
cute.
used to call. Oh, it's cleaned up. We used to call Sterling Heights, Sterling Whites. I'm like, but now I find out all the Arabs and Chaldeans are living out there
Yeah.
now. So it's like they're,
Yeah.
everything's just getting, it's like a checkerboard.
Well, I got to get going, buddy.
All right, man.
This is good, babe. We did 2 hours, 2 hours, 13 minutes.
Much longer than I wanted, but yeah.
Much longer you want? You're the one that pushed it. I was trying to end it an hour ago.
I'm trying to avoid traffic.
Avoid
but now it's
traffic,
good.
man.
I think we're getting.
It was still fun though. I think we got into some really good stuff, man.
Yeah, I think it's
I really like these
informative
stories.
stuff.
Now I learned not to piss off Samuel L. Jackson because.
No, never do that, man. Especially when he's wearing a Kango.
All right, buddy. I love you. Tell anybody where they can find you.
I love you too.
Mike Batayeh 1,
Oh,
right?
Mike Batayeh 1, Instagram, and at Facebook. That's it. Those are only two. I just got on Instagram because apparently when it first started, I was on Instagram, and then someone was like, "You gotta get back on Instagram." I was like, fucking Instagram.
You forgot the passcode.
No. I couldn't find. I go, why can't I get my name? And originally, I had it as Nike Batayeh. I misspelled my own name. I hit the N instead of. So I created an account.
hilarious.
So now it's Mike Batayeh. I just got it. Yeah, Mike Batayeh 1.
You
I
couldn't
just
get Mike
started it up
Batayeh?
2 weeks. No, for some reason I was trying to do it.
Somebody
and
else has it.
No, I couldn't find the handle. I think somebody did a hashtag. The Comedy Drop people. They did one of my clips and they used the hashtag apparently because the guy contacted me, and apparently I can't get my Mike Batayeh because of that.
I know. That
Doesn't make
seem
sense, right?
No.
Then somebody has my name.
Somebody has it.
Somebody's a fucking imposter.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I'm going to get this going. Guys,
Okay.
this weekend, I'll be at Greenwood, Indiana at Gutty's. And then after that, June 30th, Hollywood, Supernova. Then I think some other stuff. But
And we're doing a project together we're working on.
that's right. We're writing a
So I'm
movie together.
Calling it out on camera so he doesn't fucking flake.
I'm not going to fucking flake, bro.
Ah,
I think this morning was the first meeting. It was good.
I think we get a lot done.
It's good.
Don't go on your
I know.
podcast and tell
I know.
tell
But
people
figuring out
about-
the difference between our
Yeah,
characters, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
The spine, if you will.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Mike Eshaq. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
We'll just say this. It's an adult film, and his name is Saddam Hussein. That's his character. Anyways, I don't want to give away too much. I'm
putting
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So much thing in my butt,
I'm
bro.
good.
Ugh. So tomorrow, 2 p.m., guys, Eastern time, I'll be back doing the solo podcast. Hopefully, I'll be well rested. And thank you, guys. Love you. See you tomorrow.
I thought you loved me.
Public Yemeni #1.